Hey!
Welcome everyone. This is
What?
episode 8 of the Rat Group, and tonight we're going to discuss underrated and overrated movies.
That's right.
We picked up plenty to talk about tonight, and yeah, we thought it was an interesting thing to do for this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
So who wants to go first? You guys want to do overrated or underrated first?
I'd probably say overrated first because that was the most difficult.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah,
that's fine.
because I don't have a thinking for overrated, so I'd say overrated maybe.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, we had already discussed off air. The overrated was a lot more difficult to come up with than the underrated.
And also, just to mention really quick, this doesn't even pertain to a certain genre, so we're talking about any movie.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna discuss overrated first, and who wants to go
Are we
first?
doing it? Does anyone have a certain order for theirs? I'm just curious.
No,
I
I
don't.
don't.
I just listed mine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they're not in order though.
No.
Yeah.
But the first one I will be mentioning whenever it's my turn to mention overrated. Like my first choice I'll mention is actually my most overrated movie. But other than that, all the other ones are not any order.
Okay. I don't want to go. Fucking, there's a fucking blind here. Shit. Sorry. But
Thomas, why don't you take it since you suggested overrated first?
Okay. Well, if we're going through the 5, because and like I said before too, like
hold on before you go on. Yeah, again, I forgot to introduce everybody. Duh.
I'm Dan.
Rob, Dan, Dob and
Yeah.
Rand.
Yeah, Robin, Dan, and Thomas. Oh, what's your name again? Thomas.
Thomas.
We gotta change our name. We gotta change our group name now. You know, Dan's a part of the group now.
What didn't I call it? Drat.
He's the cast member that's like featuring Dan.
How about this? How about the fun foursome?
The fun. No.
or
It sounds like a porno to me.
fantastic.
How about the super squad?
Porno.
It does.
Oh my god. Oh well.
Yeah, of course. This is my channel, Alex 2.0, aka just Alex.
AKA
And
the
I'm Horror Fan 34, by the way.
But yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Thomas, with your overrated picks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but like I said, we're not going to agree or disagree. We're just going to,
Wait, hold on. I got one question. Are we going to list all of them?
No, let's do one at a time.
One at a time?
Yeah, one at a time.
one at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said,
I got
Alex, you said that we're not going to disagree or agree on the overrated.
If you want to say that you would disagree, that's fine, but we're not going to have a discussion about it. It'll just take forever.
Okay. I want to be sure. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so since I'm going first, I'm going to say my number 1 overrated movie. Because I remember, before I get onto it, I'm just going to explain a little bit of a backstory with this one, and I'll say what it is in a minute. But I remember the first time I saw this movie. Hold on 1 second. I got to make sure I'm up right.
I disagree.
Hold on, someone's messaging me. Hold
Oh, you can multitask.
on. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
The first, I remember like one of my old friends from like grade school, like around the time, I think it was like I was like in middle school. This might have been like in 09, 2010, saying like, "Oh my god, dude, I own this movie on DVD and it's like one of the best movies ever." And I said like, "Well, I've heard a lot about it, but I never really got around to watching it." And so my buddy was like, "Oh, just go, I want you to see this for yourself and let you know." And he slept over at my house one night and he brought the DVD with him. We watched it together that night. We slept over. And I got to be honest here. I literally almost fell asleep 2 times watching this movie. I really did.
I'm
And
curious.
what was the movie?
Avatar.
Damn, I knew someone was going to mention that.
Well, that's on my list too.
Me
so.
too. I crossed it off.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't think that was going to be the first one that was going to be mentioned, but I knew it was going to be mentioned.
Yeah, Avatar is my. It's the first one I'm going to mention, but it's also my most overrated movie.
Damn.
Thomas, let me stop you for a second. Could we? This is just a suggestion. Since all three of us have that on the list, maybe we should just all discuss that one instead of crossing it off because none of us have more than 5 for the overrated.
Right, right. You know, yeah, you guys can discuss it. You know what?
Yeah, I mean, it would just be the same thing, but we just talk about that movie a little more for each of us. Is that okay, Alex?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So go ahead, Thomas. Sorry.
Why do you think it's overrated?
Hold on, someone's messing.
Okay, well, okay.
Uh,
Robert, Dan, why do you guys think it's overrated?
no, I got it. Hold on.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Someone's messaging me during the stream. Keep them off.
Okay.
I'm doing a stream and they don't get it.
Okay.
Tell
Go
them
ahead.
to F off.
Go
Tell
ahead
them
then.
Anyways, yeah, like I just thought, like, you know, I felt like nothing really much happened in the movie, to be honest. I mean, it's a good cast and everything, like Sam Worthington, Sigourney Weaver, and Stephen Lang. I mean, it's a really good cast. It's got beautiful special effects, but I just feel like, you know, I feel like there wasn't too much to the movie. Like, I feel like this is one of those movies where the special effects are pretty much like the highlight of the movie, in my opinion. And I really do think movies have to be more than just special effects. That's like I feel like that's why it's overrated, I feel like I've seen the story done plenty of times in other movies. But overall, I mean, beautiful special effects, good cast, but I couldn't get into like the story and, you know, things like that. So I say it's my most overrated movie.
Well, the gimmick was the 3D. I mean, that's what they were
Right.
pushing.
Yeah, that's really the main reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is Dances with Wolves. If you've seen that movie, Avatar pretty much took the plot from that movie. Essentially, that's what it is. And that's
Golly, everyone's made the jokes, yeah.
Yeah, and it's that movie's a product of the times. Again, like 3D was coming out, so that is, you know, people were in awe of how that was working. That was like when it was, well, I should say when 3D was coming back. But essentially, yeah. Other than that, the fact that it was the #1 money-making movie of all time for like 10 years goes to show as well that it was overrated for it to make that, you know, and it made a lot of money because of 3D, but for it to be the #1 movie right there, to me, signifies overrated.
I can't think of one scene that was like, oh my god, like an action scene. I mean, there were quite a few, but can you even think of something that you remember, like offhand, like, oh my god, I remember that from Avatar, like.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember bits and pieces of the film, but nothing that was like, wow, that was amazing, you know, like something that stands out. So yeah, I agree.
Well, like my really quick, my experience, I went with my dad. I saw it, of course, in the 3D. For one thing, it was way too long, and watching it in 3D was awesome. But it after I was done, like my eyes and my head, they were hurting because it was so long, and like to me, it's like the story was fine, but I just didn't feel like it went anywhere. To be honest, I didn't feel like characters were popping up here and there, and I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't feel like it progressed anywhere. So, yeah, I definitely thought it was overrated. It had some cool special effects, like Thomas said, but other than that, I'd say it's pretty forgettable nowadays.
Yeah, I got nothing else to add. I think we're all in agreement on. Us three are in agreement on that one. So.
Well, you know what's going to happen. This is going in the burn pile now.
Let's see. I will say that out of my 5 overrated films, that's the only one that I do own. So I do own that one.
I actually don't own Avatar, surprisingly.
It's the. What do you have, like the 3D version?
I just have the standard.
Yeah, this is the extended Blu-ray.
Oh, I don't even have that. I just have
the extended cut.
This has over 45 minutes of deleted scenes, 8 hours of never before seen material.
It's a 3-hour extended
3-hour
cut.
extended cut. That's I don't want to sit through that.
Yeah.
And we're,
Okay.
and we're getting more sequels, everybody. Yay!
Yeah, at this point,
I don't care about the sequels that are coming up.
No, I don't care either.
I wonder if I just wonder how they're going to do, considering, you know.
And I liked that first movie, but like that story ended.
Too bad.
So it's like why I don't care about sequel.
Like when you mentioned James Cameron and all that stuff. Sorry, I'm eating, folks. Anyways, when you mentioned like James Cameron and all that stuff, like, if I want to go watch like a James Cameron movie, I go watch like the Terminator 1 and 2 or Aliens or True Lies.
True Lies. Hell yeah.
Like James, if I want to watch like a favorite James Cameron film, I go watch Aliens. That's my favorite James Cameron film.
Piranha 2: The Spawning.
That technically doesn't count because he got fired.
Actually, I've never seen that movie.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, but definitely Avatar is the most overrated movie in my opinion. Alex and Rob, Dan and Rob definitely agree with that one.
Yep.
All right. Well, since all you guys agreed on Avatar, I guess I'll go next because I have a completely different movie.
Okay.
And I already know it's a movie Thomas really loves.
Okay.
And that's Gone Girl.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember. I can't say I'm surprised because I know you ranted on it when it first came out.
Yeah, and in the past shows, it's been mentioned and like I always like jab at it because I really hate that fucking movie.
Well, the thing is, I remember I commented on it back when my old channel before that was deleted for stupid reasons. But yeah, I remember commenting on Alex saying like, "Oh, yeah, well, I disagree in like these areas here. I wrote like a pretty lengthy paragraph, just like saying like, "Oh, you know, I disagree with these certain areas here and there, and blah blah blah, and you know things like that." So, but other than that, I can definitely see that
because I'm a big David Fincher fan, and I'm looking forward to. Oh, he's got a new movie. It's a murder type of mystery. He's always good at that. Those are my favorites from him. But this one, I thought the story was really, really badly executed. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Because like it also like I always loved the scenes like he has in his other movies with the detectives. Like, oh, that's always interesting. Like I thought the detectives were so dumb. If you see the one male cop who like throughout the whole movie he thinks
I did not like that. I hate it.
Throughout the whole movie he thinks Ben Affleck is guilty. And even at the end where his name is kind of like covered, you know, his name is like clean now. Spoiler alert, from 5 years ago, that his wife comes back and she's alive. The cops still think that male cop still thinks he's guilty. I'm like, what the fuck are you even like? The woman's not dead. He ain't guilty of shit. And he wasn't. You know, she set him up from the beginning, and it's like, oh boy. I mean, I don't remember everything about the movie, but if you want to see my rant, it's still on my channel.
Yeah,
go check it out. I went into more
really
detail on it. I hated that movie, and it got so much praise,
including for myself. I am guilty.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's my my first pick for Overrated.
Well, surprisingly enough, I actually kind of forgot about the movie because I haven't seen it in a while.
No,
I thought it was okay. Like I didn't think it was that.
Yeah, I was fine with it. I wasn't like, wow, this is a great film. I was like, I mean, I've only seen it once, and I never watched it. You know, wasn't good enough for me to watch a second time. So
I don't even know if I own it.
I don't know.
No, good. You don't own it.
I own the Blu-ray of that actually.
It's terrible. Anyway, so I guess Rob or Dan, which one of you?
I went first the first time. You guys
Don't matter. Whatever.
All right, I'll go. So I actually did put mine in order. And Avatar was my number 1 for Overrated, but I'm gonna go backwards. So I'm gonna start at my number 5. So I used to work at Family Video, and this was a movie. When I saw it, I thought the movie was fine as I was watching it, and then like the third act, I was like, "What the fuck? happened with this movie, and it ruined the whole movie for me. And like employees at the store, they'd always be like, "Oh yeah, what a great movie!" And be like, that movie sucks.
Shut up, please.
And it's a movie where, okay, so right now on IMDb, it's got an 8 out of 10. So that's for IMDb, that's a good score.
Okay.
It's a Clint Eastwood directed film. And the movie is Mystic River.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
I've only seen that once, but I don't remember too much.
Okay, so Mystic River.
I've never seen it one time too, and I can't remember much either.
Okay, so Mystic River, the premise. Alex, have you seen that or no?
I did see it once on cable. I don't remember much of it, honestly. So I can't even say if I agree or not.
So a quick premise. So these kids grew up together, and at one time they one of the kids gets taken by an adult and is molested. Okay, so into the future, these friends still live in the same town. One of them kind of works for like, I don't want to say the mafia, but he's kind of like a mob kind of guy. But it's a smaller town. One of them's a cop, and then the other guy who was molested, he's kind of like looked at as kind of like a crazy guy. So he there's a the mob boss's kid is murdered, and they think that the crazy guy did it. So the movie and it's based off of a book, and apparently the book goes into more detail, and I think that's what happened with the film is they left some of the detail, because in the third act, all of a sudden there's this huge plot change where all of a sudden, like, the wife of Sean Penn, who's like the mob boss, is like, we can own this town. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're gonna like own this town. And it's like, what? Like, where did this come from? Like, doesn't make any sense. And then like Kevin Bacon's the cop, and he's like, I got my eye on you at the end. And Sean Penn's like, oh, what do you mean? There's nothing going on. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, this has nothing to do with the earlier stuff. So it essentially ruined the whole film for me. But the fact that it's got an 8 out of 10 on IMDb, and it's like the first movie that I can think of that I was like, this movie is overrated. Sorry.
What year was that?
2003?
That's what I was going to say. 2003.
Okay.
So,
that's 2000. I think it might have been 2003.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Huh. So yeah, that's my number 5 for overrated.
Okay.
All right. Rob.
You can go.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Mine is not in any order, but I'm gonna pick The Sixth Sense.
Wow.
Wow. What?
Well, you know what? I was actually thinking of putting The Sixth Sense in my overrated, but the more I thought about it, yeah, it's pretty good. It's still a pretty good movie, but I actually knew that maybe someone would probably mention that.
I did not know you felt that way about that movie.
Here's the thing, like, after viewing it more, like, I don't think it holds up still as well, because it's one of those movies that you watch once and you get, you know, like the whole twist thing, and that's with M. Night's movies anyway, but that movie specifically, I don't think it has the same effect the more you watch it, like you did the first time. And I know people say that that's like one of like the best M. Night movie, other than some people say Unbreakable, but I don't get it. Like, honestly, I don't. The Sixth Sense, I mean, Bruce Willis did fine and Haley Joel Osment did fine, but it doesn't have the same effect for me. I feel like it's just overrated in that way.
That's still my favorite M. Night movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mine too.
Mine is Unbreakable. Like,
yeah, that's my favorite too, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay, that's the first one I'm shocked by tonight. I actually thought this was gonna be predictable picks, but no, that's that one that actually got me surprised.
Yeah.
Damn. So yeah, wow.
With this
Sixth
guy,
Sense, huh?
you're in trouble.
I'll have to come through the monitor.
I'm literally going through. Anyway, Thomas, you're next.
Yes.
What's your second pick?
My second pick, I'm looking on my list right now. I'm just scrolling through a couple things on the list. The second one that I'm going to mention, I don't know if you guys are going to shoot me for this one, but another James Cameron film, Titanic.
Oh, shit, you stole my thunder. God damn it.
I have that on my list. Yeah.
I was going to have it too.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to cross it off. We'll be doing that for underrated, though.
What?
But I think he's saying, like, it don't matter, like, if we have, like, the same overrated, because we don't have many.
No, yeah, it's fine. We can discuss it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you did with Avatar.
Yeah.
I want to be. I have an ego. I want to be the one to say
Right.
it. That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
you.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead, you three. Rant on.
Titanic. God, why couldn't they just? Why couldn't James Cameron just make an actual more accurate version of Titanic and not just love story?
That's the one thing I didn't care about Titanic was the love story.
It's changed for me. Like I did not mind that at first, but then, like I said, when you watch a movie over and over and over again, it just starts to drag on, and you're just like, okay, now, like it just sucks. Like, yeah, the love story thing, I'm just like, oh, this is kind of dumb. Like, let's just move on. And then when the ship thing happens, that's cool, but then they still have the stupid love story going on when the ship's going down. It's just, I don't know. Why did it make that much money?
Because people really got invested with that love story, man.
I mean, granted, not to say DiCaprio and Winslet were bad. I mean, they were good. They were good in the movie, but
yeah, but I didn't like those. I didn't like the characters though.
Nah, the characters I didn't like. That and the thing with me is like if I want to watch like Titanic, I just watch for the second half when they hit the iceberg.
I'll tell you who stole the show for Titanic.
Billy Zane.
Who stole the show for Titanic was Billy Zane.
I knew you guys did. Look at me, you filth.
Well, the thing is, when you mentioned Billy Zane, Rob.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite line of Billy Zane is? It's not from Titanic, but it's from another movie. I want to quote it.
The Phantom.
Oh wait, let me guess. You're gonna quote Demon Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it?
Hold on. Well, then there, motherfucker.
All you have to do is give me the goddamn key.
Yeah, that's so great. I just had to quote that because you mentioned Billy Zane, but from what I remember, I believe that was like the last like big Hollywood thing Billy Zane did.
Yeah.
And after that, he like disappeared.
He was in one of the Scorpion King movies. The stupid sequels that came out.
Yeah. And okay, like all the overrated movies that I picked, the Titanic's the one I've seen the most.
That's definitely for me.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it at least 10 times. Oh, back in the VHS days. Remember they had the two tapes?
I remember we used to own the VHS tape where it was like two tapes in one.
Did you guys ever, out of just like for shits and giggles, did you ever like watch the second tape first?
I remember where it stopped too. You're watching tape one, all of a sudden it shows the captain's face when they hit the iceberg, and he's like this, and then it stops and it goes black, and then all of a sudden you got to insert tape two. It's like, oh my god, what a chore!
I remember that.
What a chore that was.
But like the movie was pretty much everywhere when it came out. I remember. The song was on the radio all the time.
Like I thought it was an epic movie at first, but it's like I think people just changed their minds. I don't know. Maybe I just can't stand
it. Didn't hold up
anymore. I don't know.
It doesn't hold up.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us have seen it like multiple times, not just once.
Out of the overrated movies, it's the one I've seen the most.
I actually saw the theater more than once.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
More than well.
Yep.
But I just like that love story. I just don't care for it. What was that?
I said back when I was a stupid ass, I just go see everything.
It was the drawing scene. That's what it was. The naked drawing scene.
Yep, that's how she got famous. Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
And then Kate Winslet destroyed her career with movie 43.
She gets naked and everything. God damn.
Yeah, she was in a movie with Patrick Wilson. Where
little children. That's the one. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yes,
Jackie Earle. That's the movie that got him the Freddy Krueger job.
Look at me.
But he has no more voice in that movie. But yeah, Titanic. I mean, I got nothing else much to say about it.
Nah, me neither.
It's sank. So
yeah.
Literally,
it's gone.
It literally sank.
All right. All right. I guess I'm next.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah. I'll go next. So okay, I already said Gone Girl and you picked Titanic. I added on the list. Okay, next movie I want to mention. This is a Oscar-winning movie. It came
Okay.
out 2008, and when I saw it, I'm like, wow, this movie wasn't that good. And that was Slumdog Millionaire.
I have not seen it. I saw it once. I thought it was just whatever.
Yeah, I remember like I don't remember that much about it. I remember not liking it that much, but one thing that like kind of like was weird, the kids, the main characters, like when they're children, they're living in was it India, and they hop in a train and then they land. I don't know where the hell they land. I guess America, and then all of a sudden they just start talking English out of nowhere. They didn't learn it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they didn't learn it on the train, so.
It wasn't like years passed by. It was like only like a day or so. It was like a montage.
They're very smart people.
Yeah, and he won. He wins the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. Yeah. I'm like whatever.
That's definitely a movie that probably doesn't stand the test of time either. If it's talking about that
deal or no deal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. I mean, that's all I got to say about Slumdog Millionaire.
I saw that once, and I don't remember much of it either.
That's a lot of Oscar-winning movies.
Like you see it once, and then you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick. I never would have thought about that one.
Nah, me neither.
Because I was thinking, like, okay, what Oscar-winning film like that I saw that I actually didn't really like that much, and this was one of them. So yeah. Who wants to go next? Who's next, Dan?
Oh, sure.
I think I'm
okay. Okay, this one will probably be. Okay, wait. I'm not going to do that one yet. Okay, this will be number 4. Now, this is a Pixar film. Okay. Now we've all seen Pixar movies.
Okay.
This is currently ranked the 73rd highest ranked movie on IMDb. Okay.
All right.
It's also the 2nd highest rated Pixar film.
Okay.
I saw it, and I don't know what the big deal is. Some of you may not have seen this one. It is a newer Pixar film. It is Coco.
Oh, I hated that movie.
What?
Oh yeah, Coco.
That was an awesome movie. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay,
I saw it once and I thought it was good, but
I could not get into it.
Okay, so
different culture.
The movie was fine. I didn't dislike the movie. I find it overrated. It's getting an 8.3 on IMDb, and it's the 2nd highest rated Pixar film. I can think of several Pixar films that I thought were better than that movie. And also for it to be ranked the 73rd highest movie on IMDb out of the whole movie genre of all time on IMDb, 73rd, that's crazy. Again, I thought the movie was fine. It didn't stick out to me. When I saw it in theater, I was like, oh, it was fine.
My kids like it, but I fell asleep.
I mean, my kids thought it was good too. But
that's fine as long as they like it.
Anyway, that's basically, I was trying to, when you're coming up with these, I was trying to do some research, and that's when that one came up on that list. I was like, okay, I'm like 8.3, 2nd highest rated Pixar film in 73rd highest ranked film of all time on IMDb. I had to disagree with that, so that's my choice.
Okay.
Alex.
I'm speechless.
Oh man.
That's okay. This is the 2nd most shocking. Well, actually, this is more shocking than The Sixth Sense because I've always heard like from some people that Sixth Sense is overrated. But like, wow, I didn't think no one's gonna mention Coco.
Real quick on that though, it's like
shit.
On The Sixth Sense, like I love.
What did you think? You didn't like the movie?
Coco.
Dude, Mexican food. But dude, honestly, like the ending, they didn't get to you.
Well, no, listen. I just feel like Pixar it didn't get to me like the other Pixar movies.
Oh, dude, that made me weep at the end.
What?
Yeah, I was in tears at the end. It's so
See,
beautiful.
and I have been like that for Pixar movies, but I mean, it was sad, and that might have been the only time I teared up, maybe a little at the end. But I don't know. Maybe it is a culture thing. Thomas, what did you think of that movie?
I thought Coco was good. I saw it. I think I saw it twice.
By the way, we have somebody commenting in the chat.
Who's that?
Hey, I can't see that, dude. Can you guys see that?
I'm looking through my phone actually.
I can see it from my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Forka84, who's a friend of mine. Yeah, he said yes to Titanic being overrated. I prefer the two made for TV versions, 1996 and 2012. I haven't seen those versions, but
Me neither.
Okay. That's what you said. That was the first time. But yeah. Wow, shocker, Coco. Damn.
Yeah. I won't say anything else.
All right.
You got three people watching.
I guess that means like you had it in your list as well, or did you forget about that? Rob, did you have Coco also on your list, or?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay. Well, what you got for next in your pick?
I'm gonna say The Exorcist.
Oh,
Damn!
Oh.
What?
Damn it!
That's
Wait,
kind of
wait, are you guys saying damn it because it's on your list, or are you
No,
just shocked?
no, I'm saying it's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, really? Well, you know what my favorite is.
Damn it!
I don't. Honestly, it's quoted as the scariest movie of all time. I disagree. Like, I don't find it scary at all.
I don't know. I still think it holds up.
I mean, there's certain things about it that hold up, but I don't think, like, when I watch it now, I don't think it has the effect of, let's say, back in, like my dad remembers it at that time because, he saw it at that time. But when I first saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of creepy. Her head turns around and all that stuff. But now when I watch it, I think it's because I've watched so many horror films and so many of those kind of demon possession films. Is it one of the best of the possession films? Yeah, it's one of the best. But I still think when people praise it to be like the best possession film or the scariest horror film of all time, I disagree. That's just, I don't know.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I don't have a problem with the movie. I just don't think it holds up as the scariest film of all time. I think
it's overrated?
I think it's overrated in that point.
Okay.
If I had a choice, if you were like, hey, what Exorcist film do you like? I would say the first one.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that. Like, wait a minute, you in your video, in your tag video, you said the Exorcist movies. You picked Exorcist as one.
Yep, I like the.
That's why I'm so shocked.
I like the Exorcist 1 and 3. But I like the first one as it is. I mean, it's just
They were the only two good Exorcist movies, the first and the third one.
Yeah, that's not much saying much because the series is just kind of blah. Anyway.
I'll tell you a quick story about that. I've only seen the first Exorcist, and I remember specifically the first time I did see it. And it wasn't until I was like a senior in high school, but I was watching it over at a friend's house, and I did find it creepy. But his neighbor, his neighbor's house, there was like only maybe like 12 feet between the house. Okay, so their house was almost right up against his house. And I just remember we were watching, and I look out the window, and we were in an upstairs window, and in the next upstairs window of his neighbor's house, there was, I'm not kidding you, a girl the same age as like Linda Blair would have been in the movie, sitting on her bed in the dark with the TV on. So like, you know how the TV has like the weird silhouette and glow. I was just like, for that to be happening at the same time watching the movie, was
creepy. Yeah.
That's
it definitely, it definitely has some creepy moments, and it actually has some of the most memorable moments in movie history. I mean, some of the stuff that happened.
So why is he on your list?
I don't think I'm going off at.
He just said it's overrated.
I'm going off
I know.
as people quote it the scariest movie of all time. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I look at overrated a bit differently. I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't want to go on a tangent.
If it has that title, to me that's overrated because
Yeah,
I
I agree with what you're saying. I mean, if everyone is like, "Oh, that's like one of the greatest horror movies of all time,"
or the scariest.
Yeah, you could say, "Well, no, it isn't." You still like the movie, you just disagree.
Right? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I saw the 2000 extended cut first, but that was new.
Mm-hmm. Was that when
the spider stairs?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I saw that version first. And we're like, oh my god, creeped out. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I actually shocked him again.
I'm just desensitized. Like I've seen so many horror films. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Exorcist. Damn. It's another bombshell. All right. I have a bombshell too, but I'll wait. But I guess Thomas.
Okay, so we mentioned 2 movies apiece already because I mentioned Avatar and Titanic.
Already crossed the board.
What's
James
that?
Cameron.
Oh yeah, James Cameron.
I crossed off 4 on my list already.
All right, so I mentioned Avatar and Titanic already. So my third pick that I'm going to mention is I feel like the thing is a little bit backstory on this movie before I mention the name of it. I remember the first time I had a possession of this movie. My cousin gave me like a I don't know if it was, I think it was like a burned DVD copy of it. Like he taped it and he burned it on a DVD. And I remember I brought it down the shore with me that weekend when my family went down the shore. And I remember I watched it and I fell asleep like 15 minutes in, but that's because I didn't get enough sleep the night before. So that technically didn't count. So I tried watching it again and I fell asleep like 30 minutes into the movie. And I tried watching it again and I finally made it through the third time and I'm like, I seriously don't get like what's so good about this movie. It's a horror movie. I'll tell you that. It's a horror movie. I finally watched the whole thing and I'm like, I seriously don't get what's so good about this. Paranormal Activity.
I like the first one.
I knew that was also going to be mentioned.
Yeah,
I don't like theory, but
I like that movie.
I hate Paranormal Activity, and I hate, and I can't tell. I think the sequels are worse. Trust me,
the sequels are terrible.
Yeah,
the sequels are worse than the first one, but I just don't get like the whole hype about the first movie. I mean, granted, I like the way like it's filmed, the way it's shot. But I thought the Mika character was so stupid, trying to provoke the spirit on.
He was the best character in the movie.
He was a dumbass for provoking the spirit.
I don't think people talk about that series anymore, though. I think at the time it was hyped up, but I think it's kind of like dull now.
Yeah, I mean, like, and not that you mentioned, like, I'll mention this real quick, but like, Paranormal Activity 3, I think, is the worst one because all the crap that you see in the trailer is like 80% of the shit that's not in the movie.
I think they should have just left it alone. They should have just had one movie and just left it alone, I think.
I that's the one thing I don't understand how this one movie became a big franchise. Like,
it made a lot of money.
I thought two was even more boring than part 1.
They do the same thing in all the movies. They just try to step up like the effects.
I remember like the very first thing that you see in
where they put the cameras, like there's more cameras in every sequel.
I will say the first movie though, and the reason why I had effect of it though is because I stayed at his house when I was a kid, and it was kind of like we thought it was haunted, right? We thought stuff was.
What do you mean we thought?
Oh well, you know what? I guess it was. But like when they had the camera in the bedroom, and then down the hall you see the light come on and stuff moving, that affected me because it was kind of similar when I stayed at his house.
My parents' house is haunted.
Something was going on. So
there's been creepy things.
I need to check that out and look for myself.
I guess that's why it affected me because I agree though some of the characters were really dumb, but I don't know, time waster movie I guess.
Doors locked.
I couldn't get into the franchise. I couldn't get into the franchise in general, and I just couldn't get into the first movie at all. I think it's one of the most overrated horror films of all time. I don't care for Paranormal Activity, and I don't care to see any more of them in the future if they ever do it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make any more now.
They'll probably make a TV series or something.
I got another.
Probably turn into a television show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Paranormal Activity is my third pick for most overrated movies.
Okay.
All right.
Well, guess it's my turn.
What's your What's your third pick?
Well, it's technically my fourth because
Well, this is the third
Titanic.
one. Well, I'm saying
Well,
this,
you picked Titanic.
this is like the third.
But yeah, but next up is a movie that is praised as like this is gonna be a theme now, like overrated horror movies that we think. This one has been praised for decades, and it is a game changer, I admit, and it has stuff that I appreciate. I recognize the value of it, but at the same time, I couldn't get into it.
I think I know what you're going to say.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Blair Witch?
No.
Oh, yeah.
The original Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, like the black and white?
Yeah, the black and white version.
George Romero. Okay.
The original Night of the Living Dead movie. They're coming for you, Barbara. That movie. Honestly, I prefer the remake.
I agree.
The remake.
I just think I know it's 1960, but that was boring.
Again,
I didn't like the Barbara character.
That goes back to the time period. Again, that's
I know.
what I'm
Yeah.
Like, if you were back then, you saw Night of the Living Dead back then, you would think it's probably the scariest thing you've ever seen.
It was original for that type of thing. So that makes sense.
Probably, but like something like Psycho came out the same year. I could get into that movie easily, even if it's different time. But Night of the Living Dead, man, I'm just like I don't like the Barbara character. She's useless. I understand she's in shock and traumatized, but like she's useless. And I didn't like I get the point of the ending. Did they shoot? Did they shoot the black guy because he was a zombie or because there's racism?
Because he's black.
Yeah, black and white. Yeah, it's a black and white situation.
Everyone in that movie was black and white.
But I prefer the portrayal of the characters in the remake a lot more.
I think the remake is a better one in my opinion.
I agree. Awesome. Yeah, remake is better.
So yeah, Night of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Overrated.
Okay. What's to go next?
Dan?
I believe it's Dan's turn, I think.
All right, so my next movie that I'm going to pick is my wife's favorite movie of all time. I watched it once with her, and I predicted a stupid scene in the movie before it happened because I thought the movie was boring as hell. This is it's getting an 8.1 on IMDb, and it's ranked 164th as far as highest ranking of all time. Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
I've never.
Okay.
It's long, it's boring. There's a scene in the movie. I was sitting there watching. This was when we were dating, and I was like, okay, I'm like, this is just. I'm not enjoying this movie at all. And I jokingly said there is this scene where this guy getting on a horse, and I'm like, I bet that guy's gonna fall off that horse and die, and he did. And I was like, come on. But again, that's a movie that is widely considered like a great film. To this day, with inflation, it's made the most money of any movie of all time.
That is true.
But I think again, like it's a product of the time. I think people thought it was, some great film back then, but it's just I don't, I just don't find it interesting at all, and I don't enjoy it, and that's why it's on my list.
All right.
Well said. Well, I have something similar, but I'm going to actually name the franchise, and that is the 50 Shades of Grey franchise. I saw that with my wife, and I should get a medal for that. Those movies made so much. I don't understand. I don't get it. They're popular because of the books, right?
That's right.
So when we went to the theater to see it, it was packed. I mean, there were. Oh my God, I felt so sorry for some of the men that got dragged there. It's so awkward. It's so awkward. A movie about, a girl who's hasn't found the right guy. She meets this one guy who's into whipping and spanking and tying her up and stuff like that. And then she gets used to it, and then she gets mad at him, and then it's what the hell?
Yeah, he gives her a contract.
How are these movies just so popular? I don't get it.
If you want to see better sex scenes done in a movie, watch The Room with Tommy Wiseau.
There you go.
Yep. I'd watch that movie, 100 times before I watch any of those movies.
He has sex with her belly button.
Look, man, I mean, those books were popular because people have fetishes.
Yeah, fetishes. I mean, it didn't make sense. Like, Dakota, what is her name? Dakota Johnson. She's like, her character is not into the stuff, and then he's like, well, I'll be gentle. Then when he does it, she starts being like, mad at him for doing a little bit hard, like he spanks her hard and stuff like that. So then she's mad at him. So then the next time they do it, she's like, let's go slow. So they start going slow, and so he starts getting rough, and she's like, what's the matter? You can't do it any rougher. And he's like, I thought we were going slow. And she's like, I don't mind going fast. Like, what? Like, honestly, what the hell? It's like a
mind over here.
like, I'd slap the shit out of her. Shut the hell up.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I'm done.
I didn't see any of them, so
I've only seen the first one.
You're one lucky man, Dan.
That wasn't good.
Oh my God.
Poor Rob, he had to sit through all three, right?
I've seen all three. Thomas, did you see any of them?
I've seen all three of them too.
You remember which one was it where he gets in a plane wreck, or they think he gets in a plane crash?
Wait. I just remember talking to you on the phone. I thought it was a helicopter crash.
Or I don't remember.
I just remember you were telling me about that scene. You were like so mad. You're like, it made no sense.
Thomas, you remember they're watching the TV, and the main guy, he's in a airplane or helicopter, goes flying up, and on there they say, "Oh my God, it went down. I think something happened. He's dead or something." They're watching this happen live. All of a sudden, the door opens and it's him. How the f did he get from there to there? What is he in the Star Trek? Beam me up. Like, what the fuck? What happened?
It was from 50 Shades Darker.
50 Shades Dark. Okay, there you go. He walks in after it's on live TV that he just went down in a helicopter or whatever.
Yeah, it was a helicopter. I think it's pretty sad that I remember this shit.
It's oh my God, it's
Yeah. Did the movie come out the last one? Oh, it came out last year.
I think that was one, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, we'll see if anything else happens.
They'll make a TV series about it next.
Oh yeah.
In a minute.
And you're gonna have to watch that too, Rob.
No, I'm not.
What's the third one? 56 Darkest?
It's
Darkest.
darker.
Dark chocolate?
No. The third one's called 50 Shades Freed.
No, I thought.
Oh, okay.
God damn it.
Stupid damn jokes. God, man, those movie's stupid.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Yep. Who's next?
I guess I'm next. I'll just say right now, my last two overrated that I'll be mentioning are franchises. So my fourth pick, this is like I said, I'm saying this is like my fourth pick. I already mentioned Avatar, Titanic, and Paranormal Activity. But my next choice that I picked, I remember seeing the first one in theaters. I remember that. Then I remember owning it on VHS tape. And then I saw like the last one, which was like the second half of it in theaters. And like, I just don't like get the hype of all these. I mean, I didn't see any of the other ones because I just didn't care to. But the Harry Potter.
I actually agree with you.
I somewhat agree. I'm not a very big fan.
But I think for me, it just is yeah, I mean, I'm not. I like science fiction, but yeah, I'm just not into
That's
it.
not
Myself.
science fiction. That's fantasy.
Like, I've seen the only one I saw the only two I've seen all the way through were the Sorcerer's Stone and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
The only ones I really like are the first and third movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Like I like that one a lot.
I say Sorcerer's Stone's my favorite because it was the first one I saw, but that was like really but then like I was never really a guy that read the books. I never really got into
I didn't read the either.
Like, I mean, I like the actor. I like Daniel Radcliffe, but I like him in like other movies like Horns, The Woman in Black, and things like that. Like, I prefer Daniel Radcliffe in like other movies. Like, I don't think he's bad as Harry Potter. It's just like I don't think
when he's grown up, it's different. Yeah,
like I feel like he was better when he was a kid.
Yeah,
and the thing is, like that, like I said before, I was never a guy that read the Harry Potter books. I was never really into like big franchises, like like those. Like I was never like a star. Not to say I don't like Star Wars, but I was never much of a Star Wars fanatic.
Well, like there's like the books like the Maze Runner, Hunger Games, and all those.
I never really cared to watch like the Hunger
Shades of Grey.
I never.
Insert.
Well, that's the thing with me, like with Harry Potter and all that stuff. I never really cared to watch Hunger Games or, if I want to watch like a Hunger Games movie, I'll go watch like Battle Royale and
Casino Royale.
Survive the game.
I even say the Running Man's kind of like the Hunger Games in a way.
Yeah,
I prefer like those kind of things over the Hunger Games, but Harry Potter for me is one of the most overrated franchises. I just don't get the hype of the Harry Potter.
I'm a fan of them.
That's what I was gonna say, Alex. So out of all three of us, or out of the four of us, you've actually read the book. So
yeah, I read the first couple. I read the first couple ones when like before the movies came out. They had the first four. I read them, and then when the movies started coming out, I stopped reading the books and I just waited for the movies.
So I mean, do you think the movies are fantastic? Or are you just like, yeah, they're fine?
Yeah, they're fine. They're good.
What's your favorite one if you had to pick?
Either the first one or the last one, Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yeah. Like I remember, like I was like when the first movie was coming out, I was like so hyped for it because I was reading the books at the time. I was like, oh, they're making a movie, and I was so hyped for it. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, Harry Potter is one of my picks.
This family, man, they kept him under the.
I put a spell on you.
They kept him under the stairs like he was a homeless kid.
Yeah, I know. He's an little orphan Harry.
Turned him into CPS.
Yes. What?
Whatever that's called. What is it called?
DFS.
DFS.
I
don't know.
Harry Pothead.
Harry Pothead, yeah. Scary Movie 3 joke.
Yeah. Scary Movie 3?
Yeah, was that Scary Movie 3?
It was Scary Movie 2.
No, I thought Scary Movie 3.
No, that was Scary Movie 2.
Oh, no, Scary Movie 2, you're right. It was Harry Pothead, that's right.
Yeah, Harry Pothead. You know what? On next, I had a movie. I had like another Oscar-winning movie here. But you know what? I just thought of another movie that's a comedy that I think it's more overrated than the pick I originally had. And I'm gonna. There's also a franchise, but I want to mention the first movie specifically.
Okay.
And that is
this the last one for everybody?
last one for me.
Oh, last one for you. Okay.
Okay. And because I'm not sure if you guys are gonna mention this one, but it's a franchise, but just specifically the first one because the first one was loved, and that is The Hangover.
3.
No, that's not one of my picks. No.
3. So I got 10 more.
I was counting duplicates.
Yeah, The Hangover. I was like, yeah, when that came out, a lot of people called it like, one of the funniest movies of all time. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, oh, it was okay, I guess. And I saw it again. I'm like, oh, it's not that funny, honestly. It doesn't really hold up. It's not really that good.
You didn't like care for the sequel.
It's actually really overrated.
I love the first movie. The other ones I don't care for.
Nah, not even.
I enjoyed all three of them, but like I think the first one was the best one.
Yeah.
By default, because part 2 and 3 were garbage.
Yeah, like I mean, I liked the first one. I do own it. I did not enjoy the second one, and it made me not even watch the third one.
Oh, they just it's so,
I didn't even watch the third one.
Oh, there was the third one.
so ridiculous.
But yeah, that first the first one for me, I'm like, it's not that funny. So I mean, that's where I was. You guys want to know what I was originally gonna pick before I change it to The Hangover?
Yeah.
Sure.
I was gonna mention There Will Be Blood, but honestly, I don't remember anything about it. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, it was Angelos. Great performance by him, but it's the whole movie I didn't care for. But yeah, Hangover.
So,
Not fan.
what were all your picks, Alex? So you picked The Hangover,
Titanic, Night of the Living Dead,
Slumdog Millionaire,
and Gone Girl.
and Gone Girl. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are your 5, huh?
No, I'm 5.
All right. So I guess Daniel, you can go next, Dan.
Okay. So recap: Avatar, Coco, Mystic River, Gone with the Wind. Those were the 4. Okay, so this movie, this is probably going to be, I'm guessing, surprising. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh.
And I am a fan of Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, hey, gloves are off. It doesn't
right.
matter what you say. It's just like, oh, okay, here you go.
So this movie has an 8.9 on IMDb, and it's the 8th highest rated movie on IMDb. The 8th. So it is that high a rating. Now, this is a good movie, but it's probably my second least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. So this is why I feel it's overrated. Pulp Fiction.
That's one of the best movies ever.
I think that's my favorite Tarantino movie.
See, and I think that's obviously that's a lot of people's for it to have that such a high rating. I mean, it's ranked 8 out of every movie ever.
I say Kill Bill is my favorite.
So I think that's early on when Quentin was first starting directing it. Again, it is a good movie, but I feel like all the movies after have been better than that film. And Pulp Fiction, I mean, it's like the movie is just all these mini stories, and then they're all connected somehow. I just find it maybe odd in a way. It is memorable, and there are good scenes, but I just feel like he's made a lot better films than that film. So that's probably my biggest surprise, considering you guys both really like it. So
yeah, I love Pulp Fiction.
Not only it's my favorite Tarantino film, it's one of my favorite movies ever. So,
oh man,
good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't call movies perfect ever, but I would consider that a perfect movie. Like, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah. I love it that much. Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, no matter what you said, and you guys picked up his, in my opinion, his best one. You guys are, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hateful Eight and Glorious Bastards.
Have you seen his new one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
What's that?
Have you seen his new one that just came out?
No, not yet. I've heard mixed reviews of that one.
Yeah,
honestly.
I've seen mixed reviews.
I'll be interested what you guys have to say.
I still didn't see it yet. I want to see it though.
It's okay. It's a long movie. So I saw it over the weekend. I need to see it again though.
Yeah.
One of them.
Pulp Fiction. Wow.
Yeah. Damn.
Sorry, you guys. What did you
That's
think?
okay.
I like it. It's definitely not. It's not my favorite.
Yeah. See, I
like it though.
Yeah, I don't hate the movie. It's a good movie. I just don't think it's overrated.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Rob.
Okay. I'm just gonna list a franchise. And I know it's kind of died down now, but there was, the newest movie, which means it still kept going.
Okay.
And I heard rumors that they're still going to be doing another one. So I hope to God no. And that's the Saw franchise.
Oh yeah, they're making another one.
Okay. Yeah.
Fucking
stop producing it. Yeah.
Fucking stop. Like honestly,
Aren't they? Isn't it like aren't they like remaking it too? Like a start over?
Rebooting it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Why though? Like,
yeah, it's not like Saw's not even that old.
Okay, I'll give the first Saw some. The first Saw was very unique, and it was. I remember we saw it, and it was groundbreaking in some ways. It was just so good. Then you have Saw 2, Saw 3, and then it just started to get ridiculous. It's like right in the beginning of the movie, we have to have a trap. Someone's trying to get out of the trap, but they're not going to. because what fun would that be?
Right.
So it just started to. There was this trend. It's like everyone you go to see, it's like right in the beginning, someone's got to die in a certain way. It's so predictable. I'm tired of it, to be honest. It's not about story anymore. It's about traps.
Yeah.
That's, and then they killed Tobin Bell off in the third movie, which I thought was a big mistake.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, if I had to say what my worst one would be, I'd have to say it used to be Part 5, but I'd have to say 7.
Now, is that Jigsaw?
No, 7 is 3D.
Final chapter.
The final chapter. I thought that was ridiculous. That movie.
That was lame. Yeah.
Barry Elway's like. I did not like how he was behind the whole damn thing.
That was lame.
Yeah. After what he went through in the first movie, Yeah,
what happened to his family?
They don't say.
Yeah. And technically, if you watch the first movie again, he didn't beat the time. He ran out of time. So technically he lost. So why did he let him live?
Well, obviously he had other plans for him, but still, we don't get to see him they wait till the 7th movie to just be like, oh, here he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, it felt like the writers didn't know what they wanted to do with anything.
Yeah, they ran out of ideas.
Yeah. I still think the franchise is overrated, though. I'm not.
I don't like the franchise at all.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about putting in there, but I'm like, I didn't want to put just horror movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Saw franchise is overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like any of them. I don't.
I don't mind the first movie.
The first one's probably the only one I enjoyed.
I used to like the first when it came out. I used to like the first movie, but it doesn't hold up for me.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
The theme song is good.
Hello, everyone. We're gonna play a game.
I want to play a game. I'm Tobin Bell.
I know. It's like I'm not trying to kill you. I just want you to have a life lesson. Okay, but you must cut your arm off to live. What? Cut your arm off. You want to live? Yeah, right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Saw franchise overrated.
Yep.
Does anyone else have more picks? I mean, Thomas, you probably have one more, right?
Yeah, I have one more.
All right.
I think Rob's gonna shoot me for this one though.
Shoot him.
Yeah, Rob's gonna kill me for this one because I know he loves this franchise. He loves all three of them.
What is it?
This franchise. For me, I'm not gonna say like they're bad movies. Like I think they're good movies, but I was never one of those big like fanatics of these movies. Like I never got into them like like Rob did. But Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you know what? I should have mentioned that because I agree.
I almost put those movies on my list for overrated.
I wouldn't say. Well,
I agree.
I think they're good. I wouldn't say that they're amazing. I think they're good.
I thought you were a much bigger fan of them, like out of all of us than.
I probably am, but I'm not like. I mean, I would have to say like the one I enjoyed the most would probably be Return of the King, but I can't. Two Towers I think is kind of boring in some parts. Like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. I am, but the movies are fine.
I think it's like Harry Potter. It's like if you were a book reader of the Lord of the Rings, like people just love that series of books.
I can't stand the Hobbit movies.
I actually prefer those, honestly.
What?
I actually prefer the Hobbit movies over the Lord of the Rings.
I never watched the Hobbit, so
I didn't either. No, I wasn't. It didn't interest me enough.
Yeah. So yeah, Lord of the Rings. That's my last overrated pick.
All right.
I'm not going to shoot that. Don't worry.
If you would said, oh no.
If you give me pizza, we'll call it even.
Oh, send it this way.
Yeah, if he would have said Rocky, then yeah, he would shoot you for that one.
Oh no!
Both Rob and Dan would shoot you for that one.
Oh, I love Rocky.
Come into my house.
Yeah.
With sticks.
Oh, with sticks.
I ain't got no lock, do I, Mick?
Dan or Rob, you guys got more picks, or that's it?
That's it for me.
I got a few more, but I mean, we can just. I mean, you want me to?
You can briefly mention them if you want.
You can mention them.
I'll say them real quick.
You can
I think the King Kong Peter Jackson version is a little overrated.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
It's too long for one thing, and I much prefer the '76 remake because it was different than the '33 version. So I think that's a little. I can
definitely agree with that. Yeah.
And you've heard me say this, and people say this a lot. Like whenever I mention this movie, they're like, "Oh, so you don't like it?" I do like the movie. I do like it. I think the newest Halloween is a little overrated for a lot of reasons, but I don't think the movie's bad.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard you mention that in one of your videos. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff in that movie, but I don't like the doctor part. I don't like those reporters in the beginning. Their story was lame. There's a lot of things I just don't care for, but it was executed fine. I still have a problem with the title, though. They should have called it something else.
Yeah, especially since they have the two sequels that are coming up. They have those subtitles: Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Why don't you just call the 2018 movie just Halloween Returns?
Yeah, or why not call this one 2018 Halloween 2?
That would be.
I mean,
I don't know.
if
I
you
mean,
disregard the other
So it's
one,
like
then-
this new timeline goes Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
exactly. That's stupid. But anyway, yeah, that was just one I just.
I agree with about the title though. All right.
Yep.
So yeah, that was our overrated picks.
Yeah, that was all of them.
So if anybody's watching or watches later, comment if you agree or if you got your own overrated picks.
Yep.
Um,
That was a hard list, guys.
yeah. So moving on to let's get positive. Underrated.
Underrated. Okay.
The underdogs.
Yes, let's talk about some underrated stuff.
Some underrated underwear.
Oh man.
But who wants to go first in this one?
I guess.
You know what? No, let me
Matt.
go first before you steal my thunder.
You go first, Alex. Go.
Okay.
Alex.
Okay, because I know this is gonna. I know you guys are gonna pick this one.
Wait,
I'm
we're
pretty
doing
sure.
five. And we're doing 5 of these, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. I'm guessing everybody has picked this one, so I'm gonna say it first.
Okay.
Punisher 2004.
That's on my. It was actually on my honorable mentions.
That movie's awesome.
That movie's great.
It's not on my list, but it's a great movie.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Like,
then
when I
any-
finally
So good.
get to see it like, years after it came out, like, oh, this movie's hated. This movie's really good. I was so into it.
Man, I take
Thomas Jane does
we
such a good job.
him and I watched it. That whole beginning when his family gets shot up. Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was a shock. And that, when that
Shocking.
movie came out.
Thomas
Thomas
Jane. I'm
is,
like, oh, Jaws. Is he gonna go in the
Yeah.
Thomas Jane is Frank Castle.
Yeah.
He's the true Punisher.
John
And I-
Travolta plays an awesome
He
guy.
does.
Broken
Yeah.
Arrow is another one.
I like how Alex picked the movie and then we just jump in like, hey, remember this part, remember this part? It's like Alex doesn't get to talk about it.
So I knew you guys
sorry.
had it in your pick, so I might as well say it first.
It's actually on my honorable mentions.
Go ahead, Alex. It's just exciting.
No, I'm just like, okay, I even like the director's cut. I'm pretty sure you guys seen that version, right?
Oh, I don't know.
The extended cut of the movie.
I believe.
Why-
That's the one I have.
I only have the DVD. I don't know.
I don't know if it's the
No,
extended
that is a
cut.
DVD.
Oh, it is?
Oh,
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, because they explain how the bad guys get the information on Frank Castle. In the movie, you remember in the movie they get his information, they find out where he is,
Yeah.
and the extended cut, it's revealed that his cop friend, his buddy, gave up the information because they blackmailed him because he was like a little bit corrupt, and there's a whole subplot with him, like how Frank Castle slowly finds out that it was him that sold him out, and he doesn't kill him, but he ends up making the guy kill himself. because of all the guilt.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much most of the new footage.
Yeah.
Is. But yeah, I mean, like Thomas Jane was great in the movie. You feel for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that much action, but the action scenes are well done for like a more lower budget.
Yeah.
Film.
Kevin Nash, baby.
Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash. I like that fight scene's good.
It is.
Yeah.
And Thomas Jane did a lot of his own stunts, like that when he gets thrown through the door and he hits his face in the wall. That was him. That was a stunt.
That was him. Yep.
I seriously want to watch that movie now. That is a great
Oh,
movie.
it's so underrated.
Awesome.
Love.
And
the
I
part.
would have loved to seen a sequel to that movie.
Too bad.
Will Patton's good too in that movie.
Oh yeah, we did see a sequel, Warzone.
No, that's garbage. That's nice.
I know.
Lily Pin Jim. Yeah, Punisher. This day, a lot of people still hate on it.
That's a great pick.
I think it's a great movie. It's so underrated.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, I know.
It's a great pick.
So yeah, who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Thomas.
Oh, I'll go next.
Right.
I don't know if Rob or Dan's probably picked this. I don't know if maybe Rob probably did, but I'm going to mention it because I mention this all the time whenever I think of underrated movies. Judgment.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Judgment Night is awesome. It's my favorite Emilio Estevez movie. I think Emilio Estevez does a great job as Frank. He's a family man. He's going out to a boxing match with his buddy. He's got Cuba Gooding Jr. You got Jeremy Piven. You got Steven Dorff as his brother. Then one thing leads to another. They witness a murder by a great performance by Dennis Leary, and they just get chased throughout the night. And it's such an underrated treasure. You know, Emilio Estevez does great. Cuba Gooding Jr. does great. Dennis Leary is great as the bad guy. Yeah, it's like he's dark. He has really dark moments, but he can also be pretty funny. There's so many great lines. It's like you know, that money got blood on it, man. You ever see any that didn't?
Yeah, that movie never
don't
stopped.
whisper and don't even breathe. Hey, by the way, guys, you fucked up my car.
Yeah, that movie is very suspenseful.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and I'll tell you that too. Like one of my other picks I'll get to next. I'm not going to mention it, but one of my next pick I'll mention when I get to it after you guys go. Kind of has a scene that's similar to Judgment Night when they're climbing across the ladder.
I think I know what it is.
Oh yeah, I think Rob will know. Rob will definitely know what it is. I don't think Alex or Dan would know, but
let Rob get no. Unless he has it in his list. I don't know.
Well, I don't think Rob's seen it yet though.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I know what you're saying.
Okay, so yeah, but Judgment Night, like I said, Stephen Hopkins directed it. It was right after he did Predator 2. I think it's his best one. I think Predator 2 and this one are his best movies. Like I said, Emilio Estevez. I remember reading up on the trivia that Emilio Estevez was on the low end of actors considered for the lead role. I think the top two they wanted were Christian Slater or Tom Cruise. But both of them said no, and then it kind of made Emilio Estevez kind of get a higher payday than usual because they wanted to cast him real quick, and they got Emilio. To be honest, I think it worked out the best because I think Emilio did a great job.
He deserves it. I don't think he gets enough credit.
No, he's an underrated actor. I like Emilio Estevez. I kind of wish he would do more movies nowadays. I know he's a director, but I kind of wish he would have acted in more movies. I think he's a really underrated guy. So yeah,
he should direct Mighty Ducks 4. That's what he should do.
Yeah, he really should.
That'd be awesome.
Judgment Night. It's easily got to be in my underrated list.
That's a good choice. That's a good one. Yeah.
All right, so Robert Dan, you want to go next?
Sure. Okay, I'm gonna say Karate Kid 3.
I will agree wholeheartedly with that one.
People bash that movie, and I don't get it. I think it's what we were talking about you could actually skip Karate Kid 2, and Karate Kid 3 would be 2.
Right. I feel like Karate Kid 3 should have been like
It should have
swapped.
been reversed. Yeah.
Right.
It's like I don't know. Karate Kid 3. I love the first one so much that the third one kind of reminds me of a true continuation of the first movie. Because the second movie was all in Okinawa. That's a different story. But the third one, like, I love how Martin Cove comes back, and then of course we got Terry Silver, and Mike Barnes was fine. But I don't know. I just love how they just keep pestering Daniel throughout the movie and making him do things. And like Daniel gets agitated at Miyagi, and then the fight back and forth. There's some good stuff there.
That I feel like Karate Kid 3 has some of the. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that because Karate Kid 1 is like a masterpiece, but like the dynamic between Miyagi and Daniel and Karate Kid 3, I love that. The fact that they're kind of being torn apart. Like the actors were so great.
Yeah.
That movie is very underrated.
Yeah, that's my pick, Karate Kid 3.
Karate Kid 3, it's a pretty good choice. I enjoy that myself too.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Dan?
All right.
Okay. All right, so no particular order. I'm going to start with a movie that I saw in the theater.
Okay.
And I remember feeling this movie seems really realistic. I really feel like they got the tone of what they were going for in this movie. And then in the third act, I can remember sitting in the theater and like my heart was pounding. It's only getting a 6.5 on IMDb, and it's got a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a Nicolas Cage film, 8mm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Awesome movie.
Great one.
What I like about that movie is the realism. It's like, Alex, have you seen that or no?
No, I should have never seen it.
Okay, so the premise is he's like a private eye, and this parent hires him to find out if this snuff film, if the daughter was really killed or if it was just like a snuff film. So he has to go into the underground and into like snuff film.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Chucky Doll is in the chat. He says, "Hi guys."
How you doing, Chucky Doll?
Chucky Doll.
Oh. All right, you can continue.
Welcome. So in the movie, it's like you see him slowly, like, so Joaquin Phoenix is in the movie, and he's like, yeah, I can take you around into the seedy underworld, and you end up finding out that the girl was killed, okay, and Nicolas Cage, because he's around that environment, he starts being like sick to himself, and he catches the guys that killed this girl, and he calls the mother on the phone and is like, I have them captured and I know what they did. And he's just sick, but then he's like, tell me it's okay to kill them. And she's like, yes. And so he like murders them, and then he goes after the last guy, and he's like living with his mom in this house, and there's like a record playing in the house really loud, and he's like trying to sneak up on this guy, but the guy knows he's in the house, so like the record starts to skip, and then Nick Cage is like, oh, like I think I've been caught. I don't know. It's just very intense. It's a very suspenseful film. The acting is great, and it was just so realistic. And the director, I'm not sure who directed it, really takes you.
Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher.
Oh well, that's a surprise. But
why is that a surprise?
Yeah. But anyway,
he made plenty of good films.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm not being sarcastic. He has. It's just like he always gets stigmatized with the Batman and Robin.
Yeah, and I guess I'm part of that because I did not. That's surprising to me, but it is a great movie. I highly recommend that one if you haven't seen it.
That's a great pick. I will admit it's a really good pick.
It made some money. It was a $40 million budget. It made $96 million. So
that's a profitable hit.
Yeah, but for it to have a low, like a 6.5 and only a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, I was like,
yeah, I consider it. I really do consider it one of Nick Cage's best movies, in my opinion.
That would be
in my top 5.
Yeah,
it would be in my top 5 Nick Cage films, up there with The Rock and Con Air and things like that.
Yeah,
it would definitely be on my top 5 Nick Cage.
The Wicker Man,
one of his best ones. Yeah, but that's a good pick, Dan. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
Hi.
You want to go next, Alex?
Yeah, sure. Here's another one I'm gonna steal the thunder from you guys. I'm pretty sure one of you guys have had this on this list, and that is the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too. It wasn't in my top 5, but it's in my honorable mentions.
Every time this is mentioned in horror in the conversation when it comes to horror films, it always gets trashed so much. It's nothing happens. It's found footage. Blah blah blah. Like, no, it's a well-made movie.
It's not. Well, I hate when they say it's not real. It's like, movies are not real. Like, what the hell?
Because you're dumb enough to believe it was real.
Who cares if it's not real? Like, so what? Like,
that means they did a good job in selling it could have been real, because that's how they had the whole everybody knows this, like how the directors use the website to like have the backstory of the Blair Witch and all this and the kids. They did a good job, yeah.
And the movie, and I agree, it is
that was groundbreaking, like with viral marketing and
and like, I'll tell you even that too. Like one of the malls I go to, you got to go on like this highway thing to go towards the mall, and right next to the highway there's all these woods. And whenever I look at those woods, I go back and think of the Blair Witch Project. I mean, that's how much of an impact the Blair Witch has had on me. Like I remember, I remember seeing the promotions for it a lot back when I was a kid. On pay-per-view back when it was new back in '99. I was like 5 years old.
Guy channel, remember that?
Yeah, I remember like seeing all the advertising for it. I remember hearing all the buzz about it. It wasn't until like when I was like maybe like a teenager when I first saw the film, and I was like, oh my God, I love this thing. And still to this day, I still think this is the best found footage horror film.
No, yeah. Sure. Yeah, definitely.
We couldn't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, we saw it together, and I can remember seeing it. But the thing was, we saw it like 6 weeks after it was released. But I remember that first month, people did think it was real. Mm-hmm. And that's what was so cool about it. I kind of wish I would have seen it not knowing at that point that it was, because and it was like still enjoyed it. But yeah, like the movie made a ton of money, and it was very well done.
It made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, this goes back to my point about The Exorcist. Is that when it says it's the scariest movie of all time, I think The Blair Witch is scarier than The Exorcist. That's just my opinion. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see why you would think that.
I can definitely understand that point too.
I was like, since I was little, like for a while, I did probably think that it was real, but it was once when I found out it wasn't. I actually ended up watching it on VHS, and I liked it a lot. And I didn't see it for like a decade. I kind of forgot, but like, oh yeah, the Blair Witch Project, and then I saw it again on DVD this time, and it still held up. And I was like, oh man, this movie still holds up. It's still creepy.
I think the mythology is even more awesome.
Yeah,
we tried to
kind of get into it in the movie, but there's more detail about it, like in the website. The fake documentary they did on it.
I don't want to interrupt, but Chucky Doll commented. He said, "I love Blair Witch Project. I know it isn't real, but it felt like it was." And yeah, I think that's what makes it work.
Yeah, that's how good the actors were.
For sure.
Heather, Josh, and Mike.
Yeah.
And like if you know like how they were directed, like the directors only give them a few notes to see how it was. They give them less food every day, so they get more.
Yeah.
More angry, more tense.
They actually had to go out there, and the directors and stuff, they didn't tell them anything. And when the time would come at night, they'd start making noises. They wanted their real reactions out there.
Yeah. Yep.
It worked, obviously.
And all the lines were improvised.
Yeah.
And that's like, when you see the movie, the final film, like, oh wow, it's like they all did good. And Heather gets so much crap for her acting. Like she was good in the movie. Very realistic.
Yeah,
I didn't realize people didn't like the movie, honestly.
Well, there are people that hate it because, like I just said, it's not real. You know, then it's stupid.
Paranormal Activity isn't real either.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why I think Paranormal Activity is overrated, because I look at things like Blair Witch and I'm like, I've seen this shit done better in Blair Witch, to be honest.
People say like, oh no, like that wasn't that scary. Okay, the people who say that, like, hated Blair Witch. I want to see them. Like, if they think anybody can make that movie, I want to, like, nobody's ever stepped up and actually made a movie like that and made it better.
Well, you know, it's proof that people spoof it. That means it did something.
Yeah,
You know, people gotta spoof it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Blair Witch this day is underrated.
Oh,
Like, maybe not time, but like now it gets so much hate. So that's why I feel it's underrated now.
well, it's a good pick. I love Blair Witch.
Yeah, it's a really good
Yeah,
one.
I agree.
Really great pick.
Josh, tell me where you are, Josh.
Josh!
That's still creepy when like they hear him in the end. Oh man, that's so good.
And the
Yeah, it is.
hammer just falls and it just ends.
Yeah. So next, Rob.
Okay. You guys probably won't agree with this, but I happen to think that Terminator 3 is underrated
I actually agree.
for a lot of reasons.
I actually like that movie.
There are things I don't like. I don't like John Connor in the movie. What's his name?
Nick Stahl.
Nick Stahl. I don't really care for him, and I don't really care for Claire or whatever her name is. I don't care for that whole story. I kind of wish they didn't kill off, Sarah Connor's character, but I'm glad we got Arnold back, and I'm glad. Let me just say this: most of the action scenes in that movie are more memorable than any of the new Terminator movies out now. I can remember every action. Yeah,
that is true.
And I know a lot of people don't like Terminator 3 because of the fact that they feel that Terminator 2 was kind of a waste because of what happened. So now we got it's like Judgment Day's inevitable. So a lot of people were mad at that fact, but you know, we have a movie here, so it's like we want to see the end come. We want to see the robot.
Yeah, they're excited for Dark Fate, right?
I mean, I wasn't.
No, we're not, but I'm saying people who hate Terminator 3.
Well, I mean, I think it gets unnecessary hate. So
I remember when that movie came out, people liked it.
Yeah, I think now though people kind of trash on it.
Yeah. I mean, I will say
the reaction was, "Oh, it was good. It just wasn't as good as Terminator 2."
I will say we got 2 good Terminator movies, 1 and 2. I mean, that's a given, but I still think Terminator 3 needs a spot in there as maybe just a good film, like, you know, a decent flick.
I don't know. I agree. All the ones that came out after 2, 3 is the best one.
Yeah,
my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I like the movie. I don't love the movie, but
I don't think it's as good as the first 2, but I still think it's I think it's a decent installment.
First Terminator is just groundbreaking. My God.
It's one of the only few movies that I know that has 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Chucky Doll says, referring to Sarah Connor, she'll be back in in Terminator Dark Fate, and she will be really old, but she will still be badass, hopefully.
Yep, Grandma Sarah.
Skeletor.
You know what's funny? It's funny. What movie did I see recently? Oh, when I went to go, I took my nephews to see Spider-Man Far From Home, and they showed the Terminator Dark Fate trailer. And when she showed up, one of my nephews turned to me and said, "Hey, look, it's Hillary Clinton." When she showed up.
Oh my God! Wow. Oh man, good one.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hillary Clinton is Sarah Connor. All right.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, that's how Dark Fate goes.
Oh.
But that's a good pick. Terminator 3, I like that. I like the movie too.
It's pretty good, but I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
All right. Dan.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little lighter here. This is a comedy that when it first came out, I was like, this movie's freaking hilarious. I've seen it so many times. Rob, I already know you like this, and then I hadn't seen it for years, and then recently we rewatched it, and we were just laughing so hard.
I'm curious.
Okay, so it's got a 5.9 on IMDb.
Okay.
and an 18% Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my god, 18%.
What?
But I don't know. I just find it so funny. Saving Silverman.
Oh my god, that movie is so good.
Oh
yeah,
man,
I like that movie. Yeah,
Yeah, so like
funny movie.
it's before Jack Black was kind of becoming popular in the films,
Well,
but he was.
listen, I think this was a year before, or a year or two before School of Rock.
Definitely.
it was
yeah.
after
Yeah.
Orange County, I think, wasn't it?
Around the same time.
Or was it?
I don't know. Orange County, I think, was after, but
Oh,
it was like, remember Jack Black had the small part in The Jackal, and he had the small part in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Never Ending Story 3.
Yeah, so this was like his first.
Don't do that, man.
This was like his first starring role, but there's so many memorable lines in this movie, and Steve Zahn,
Steve Zahn.
he's funny in it. Jason Biggs is funny in it. Like, God, there's so many.
You know who else is hilarious? Arlie Ermey's hilarious.
Yeah.
Ermey, yeah.
Yeah. Did
Hey
you-
guys, I gotta take a dump. We've been pinching loads on the lawn. Smart thinking, boy.
Yeah. Oh man, just
I miss you, Arlie Ermey.
fixed it.
Hey, look, you can't stay here because we have ghosts.
What?
What? He's like, what?
He's like, what? Huh? Oh man, but it had a $22 million budget and it made $26 million. So I mean, it pretty much broke even. But
And I'll tell you what, too.
I don't know, like it's so funny. Like, and I watched it all the time back in the day, and then I hadn't watched it for years. And like, we were just looking for a movie one night, and we're like, let's watch this, and we were just like, we knew all the language.
freaking hilarious,
so
man.
hard. Oh,
Yeah.
So.
You know, Dan, you mentioned Saving Silverman, Dan. That's like I almost forgot. Dennis Dugan directed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the most unspoken of Dennis Dugan movie.
Yeah, because there's an unrated of that too.
I tell you
and
what, I actually own the unrated cut. The unrated cut is much better.
Yeah, well,
I've never seen that one.
I have the unrated copy too, and like there's several differences because the PG-13 one, it's funny but not as funny.
There's like the subway scene too that shows.
Darren's our friend Todd. Fuck you, replacement friends.
We knew her, Clayton. Yeah, that movie's, man. It's
I've seen it. I've seen it a few times. I only remember seeing the PG-13 version of it though.
And on top of that, too, you know, when Jack Black finds out Arlie Ermey's gay and they get married, that's just
Yeah.
It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
oh, it's so good. I love Saving Silverman. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I totally forgot about that. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that movie. I like it.
That's
Yeah. 5.9. What the hell?
Yeah, for Dennis.
You know what? That movie came out around the time where like most of the comedies in that year, 2001, were like really hated on.
Like, what other ones were there?
I remember like that was the same year like Joe Dirt came out. That was hated on. I like Joe Dirt.
Joe
Yeah,
Dirt.
I probably know Dirt.
Yeah, the first one's.
Joe Dirt
Yeah.
was good.
It was the same. What else came out that year that was hated?
The New Guy.
Oh God.
Was that the same year?
It was around that time.
I didn't.
Saves and So with Chris Klein.
And Heather Graham, yeah.
Yeah.
What year was Not Another Teen Movie? Was
That was 2001.
I don't know, but that movie's fun.
that movie's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a pretty underrated spoof movie.
Yeah.
It's like the
No.
only good spoof movie of the newer ones.
It's one of the first ones. That's one of the first ones I
Are you done? No.
saw. Started a very, very, and I mean very, very young Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Or Captain America.
No longer will we wear blindfolds when we're jerking each other off. Oh my God, man.
That's it. Night Two movies. One of those movies like I thought it was gonna suck. When I finally saw it, I was laughing harder than I thought I was going to.
Randy Quaid. When he's like, do you like him? I mean, would you give him head? Take your pumpkin tits. Oh,
my
yeah.
All right. Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman, that's a good one.
Huh.
All right. Guess I'm next, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I didn't go.
Or wait.
Thomas hasn't gone yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What are you trying to skip over me, Alex?
Wait, well, am I going first in the underrated?
Well, you
Yeah, you went first. You went first.
Wait.
Underrated.
well,
Yeah,
you said the Punisher,
Yeah.
and then you said
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, then you went Blair Witch Project.
Mhm.
So after me, then you go. Then it'll be you again, because you're the one that went first.
Yeah, so after Thomas, it's you.
Okay.
Oh, so you've only picked one, Thomas, so far?
Yeah, I've only done one. I mean, you did Blair Witch and Punisher.
Yeah.
Dan did Saving Silverman and
8mm.
8mm, and Rob did Terminator 3 and
Karate Kid 3.
Karate Kid 3. Okay. Yeah, so this is my second pick.
You did Judgment Night. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, Judgment Night. Yeah, so my number 2 pick. Well,
My bad.
or second pick, I should say, that I chose. I feel like Rob's the only one that's going to see this one coming, but Alex and Dan have never heard of the film. I've only discussed mainly with Rob, but Survive the Night.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned it a few times.
Which is it's pretty much the female version of Judgment Night. It's really what it is.
Okay.
So basically, if you want to see women in the leads of a plot like Judgment Night, then this is the movie that you want to go check out. I'll give it a little synopsis. Like, it kind of goes like Judgment Night, but it doesn't follow like the same beats. Like in Judgment Night, they witnessed a murder and things like that. This one doesn't go like that at all. It goes a little bit differently. So it takes place in Brooklyn, New York, but it really does take place in Canada because that's where it was filmed at. But they made it look like Brooklyn. But it takes place around Thanksgiving, and you have 3 women. You have Stephanie Powers from the Heart to Heart TV show. You got Kathleen Robertson from Scary Movie 2. And you also have Helen Shaver from Tremors 2. So you got those 3 women as your 3 leads. And it's Thanksgiving. They're on their way home from a relative's house, and one thing leads to another. They're on the highway. They're running out of gas. They got to get off to get gas, and they end up going in the most dangerous section of New York City. And their car breaks down, and one thing leads to another. They're on a street gang's turf. The leader doesn't like the fact that they're on his land, and basically from there on, it's basically a chase on foot from this gang trying to hide from them, and things like that. It goes like, and like I was going to say, there's a scene similar to Judgment Night with this film, because I feel like, I don't know if maybe Judgment Night was inspired by this. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but in this one, because I think Judgment Night was released in, I believe, October of '93, and Survive the Night aired on TV on USA in January of '93. So in this movie, there's a scene where they're walking across a plank from rooftop to rooftop. It's a pretty intense scene, and I wonder if Judgment Night was inspired by that when they did the latter scene. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. But there's so many great moments in it. You get a scene of them hiding in the subway station, the rooftops. You get an abandoned garage, and of course, the whole standoff's in the shop. I'm not going to ruin like certain plots here and there, but I think the guy that played the main villain. This is tell you what, the guy, I think it was his first film debut he did, and he went on to do a lot of other stuff like later in his career, like small parts, But I think this guy, the guy did a great job as the main gang leader. It's definitely a guy I don't want to mess with. I mean, there's even certain points where some of his gang members are talking back to him, and he kills them if they talk back to him because he doesn't want to take shit from anybody. I mean, there's literally a point where some guy's blaming him for some of the deaths of the gang members, and he can't take it no more, so he stabs the guy with the knife in the gut and kills him because he was talking back to him. And definitely a guy you don't want to mess with. He does a great job. I think the three women do a great job. Granted, it is made for TV, so it doesn't have like that bigger. Not to say Judgment Night had a bigger budget, but it wasn't like a big theatrical film like Judgment Night. because it is more of a TV version. But I would say, in my opinion, it's probably the best made for television film for me. I think the story is very simple. It's very straightforward. You get some recognizable actors in the cast, like the three women. It's got some nice bits of suspense in there. It's definitely got some twists and turns in there you don't see coming. And overall, I think Survive the Night is easily, if you are a big fan of Judgment Night and you want to see the female version of it, then I would highly recommend you check this out.
It's a very hard film to get as well.
So,
Made for
have you
TV.
seen it before, Rob?
You sent me the link to that. I didn't get to watch it all the way through, but I have seen certain parts.
Oh, okay. What'd you think? I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, it was good. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I do like the leads. I do like the female version of Judgment Night. It is like that. I actually want to get a physical copy so I can actually enjoy, watching it on the big screen.
So are you saying like you didn't watch it like all the way through? You only saw like
No,
some...
you sent me the thing. I will. I just at that time
it's not on YouTube anymore. I guess the name was taken down. But
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, when you sent me that,
what sucks though about the DVD is that it's hard to find now compared to when I got it. I got a brand new copy for it was like $15. Now that thing goes for like almost $200.
Damn.
that's why it's a very rare film.
And I have my copy signed because I met one of the stars at Monster Mania. Surprisingly, I never thought I would ever meet someone who was in that movie. That's a pretty cool story. I like to know about that. I actually met the guy who got stabbed by the gang leader. He's a black guy. He gets. You might know him on The Walking Dead. He was on The Walking Dead. Bob Stookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the gang members. He's the one that gets stabbed by the lead.
Which character was he in Walking Dead?
Bob Stookie.
No, but what character did he play in Walking Dead?
That was the character.
Bob? I don't remember. Dude.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, like he was.
I quit watching Walking Dead.
He was one of the gang members that got stabbed by the gang leader because he was talking back to him. And I got to meet him at Monster Mania. I got my photo with him and things like that. Really nice guy, by the way. He was telling some cool stories and things like that. He was talking about how it was like so cold over there, filming wise, because they were filming in Canada. So that was a pretty cool experience meeting one of the stars from it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. The guy that was in The Water Boy.
And he was also in Gangs of New York.
I always remember him in that movie.
And he was also in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually, if you two guys want to go see like a more in-depth video, I actually reviewed the movie on my channel when I did a back-to-back double feature with Judgment. So if Robert or Dan or Alex, you want to go check out my review of Survive the Night, it's on my channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely my second pick.
All right. Okay, my next pick. All right.
Yeah.
My next pick is a movie like people do talk about it once in a while, but they don't I guess don't praise it as much as me. And it was kind of lost in the shuffle of the late 90s post Scream era. Everyone always talks about Scream, and I love Scream, but this one was almost just as good, and that was The Faculty.
Ah, it's a good one.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It was almost the same style, but instead of slasher films, horror films, it was sci-fi flicks.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the movie first time I saw it, and I still love it to this day. Great characters, great writing, great humor, and it gets intense at times. It has the whole I guess you could say tribute to the scene in the John Carpenter's thing when they're testing who's infected, who's the alien, and who's not. But this time they do it the '90s version away with the drug, and that was all great.
It's kind of
it's pretty much like the Unspoken of Robert Rodriguez movie.
Yeah, no one ever talks about It's like faculty when
Good cast.
yeah. Maybe because it's the least Robert Rodriguez movie ever.
Mhm.
It definitely has definitely it's more of a Kellen Williamson film since he wrote it. Came in that era. But yeah, I mean yeah, I've seen this movie so many times.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
really
really good one.
I heard the first time I saw it, I was laughing through most of it.
I never really thought about that one. Man,
The Faculty is a pretty good one. Yeah, and the cast is phenomenal. Jordana Brewster, Clea Duvall, Josh Hartnett, Salma Hayek, Famke Johnson, Piper Laurie, Christopher McDonald, Robert Patrick, Jon Stewart, Elijah Wood. I mean, Danny Masterson has a small role in it from that '70s show.
Yeah.
It's a great cast, and I think it's Robert Rodriguez's most underrated movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorites from him.
definitely.
Good pick.
Yeah, I can go on and on about the Faculty. I love the movie so much, but we're gonna be here all night. But I'll move on.
All right. So who's next? Who's going next?
Rob.
Rob.
Okay. I'm gonna pick an underrated Robin Williams film that no one ever talks about, and I think this is actually one of his best performances.
I think I might know what it might be.
Okay. Do you want to take a guess?
1 Hour Photo.
Yep, 1 Hour Photo.
That is very good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very awesome thriller.
Yeah.
Probably my second favorite Robin Williams movie.
Yeah, his look, like the way he changed his appearance, and like you just said, like it's totally different from any other movie he's acted in as far as that character goes. That's a really good choice.
And I like how he's like a good guy, but then he does have problems with obsession and stuff, but you do still feel for him after what he does.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
It's a great one. It's a very, very different movie for Robin Williams.
That just proves that the guy was more than just a comedian. He can do anything.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I think of Robin Williams, I get sad.
I do too.
Yeah.
Robin Williams just that was such a guy that just had so much life, energy.
Mrs. Doubtfire is like one of my favorite comedies of all time. Like that movie is so good.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd say out of any celebrity that I can think of that has passed away, he hit me the hardest.
Yeah, that was a really tough one. I mean, I remember like saying that, he hung himself. I'm like, what? Robin Williams? Suicide? I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, man, I never would have expected a guy like him to do that. Like, that guy had so much energy and life to him. But, like, not only was he a comedian, but he can do dark stuff, like, 1 Hour Photo. And, he can do that guy has so many good movies to his resume. It's unbelievable. Even the ones that nobody never really liked, I still find I still like some of his songs that no one likes. I like Father's Day with Billy Crystal.
Good one.
I really enjoy, I mean, some of my favorite ones are Dead Poet Society, 1 Hour Photo, Good Will Hunting, Mrs. Doubtfire, Jumanji.
Jumanji's a good one.
How about What Dreams May Come? That's a good one too.
What Dreams May Come, that's a great one.
Did you like Toys?
I also really enjoy Cadillac Man.
What, Alex?
Did you like Toys?
Toys? That was
That's a weird movie.
I
weird.
I think that's a pretty underrated one, Toys.
When I was younger, I think I liked it.
I remember seen it a lot when I was a kid, but I always at the same time I was like, I didn't get it. But I was fascinated by it.
Rob, when you mentioned 1 Hour Photo, do you own the Blu-ray of it?
No, that's one I want to upgrade to. I still have the DVD.
The Blu-ray has a commentary on it with the director and Robin Williams on it.
I thought the DVD did too. Does it not? I just don't remember.
Well, the thing is, I never owned the DVD, so I don't know if the DVD did have that commentary.
It possibly has it.
The commentary is pretty good. I like the commentary on there. Yeah, but I tell you what, that's a great pick. I love 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. The sequence that always creeped me out in 1 Hour Photo is that dream scene.
That drink, yeah, when he holds his eyes and the blood starts coming out.
Yeah. That the whole ending when he goes to the hotel. He's like, get on the goddamn. He's like, get on the bed. Get on the goddamn bed right now.
Yep.
It always gets creepy when Robin Williams gets mad. Remember?
Because you never know if he's getting. You never know if he's like angry, funny wise, or if he's actually mad. You know?
I always remember the scene in Hook when he's like, "Let everybody please just shut up."
Yeah.
Like, that part's always.
Yeah, like even when he's a good guy and he gets mad, he's like, oh, something. You don't expect it from him.
Your face, you're disgusting. Stop crying.
Yeah, but that's a good pick though, Rob. That's a good one.
All right.
Cool. All right. Damn.
Okay. So this is a movie that it's getting a 6.8 on IMDb and only a 21% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not rated very high. You had shown this movie to me the first time, and I was like, "This movie's awesome." Death Sentence.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, that's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Bacon, right?
Yeah. I just and I think did James Wan direct that one?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And Charlie Clouser did the music. Who did the music for Saw?
So, Alex, have you seen that one?
No, that's the only James Wan movie I have not seen.
Okay, so
Oh man, you're missing out.
I know.
basically,
I know. I didn't see that.
Probably his
Basically-
most underrated.
what's that?
Probably James Wan's most underrated movie.
Yeah, so without giving anything away, since you haven't seen it, I mean, the premise is Kevin Bacon's son is killed in, I guess, a gang initiation type situation. And Kevin Bacon decides to take matters into his own hands. But here's the thing. He does it in a realistic way. It's not like all of a sudden Kevin Bacon is like,
He's a
oh,
businessman.
I'm a tough guy and I know how to use weapons and all.
He's not like a Paul Kersey of Death Wish.
He wants to get revenge, but he's totally clumsy about it. Psychologically, it's messing him up because he doesn't know if he can kill somebody. He has to learn how to use weapons. The cinematography is fantastic in this movie. There's this one really awesome tracking shot that they do in a parking garage.
Oh, they did that, and they did that in like one take.
Yeah, it's a one
They had
take.
to pass the camera off to people.
Yeah, so very suspenseful film. Great plot. I don't want to say it's a twist ending, but it's not a typical ending, where
Right.
like a Hollywood ending. So anyway, yeah, I think that one's definitely underrated based on the ratings. And it made
That's a good movie, yeah.
it had a $20 million budget and it only made $17 million, so it didn't even make its money back.
Yeah, like
That's a shame.
that one is like the one James Wan movie that nobody talks about really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
good
yep,
movie.
Death Sentence.
Great pick.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about that actually. Man,
All right.
so many underrated ones.
All right, Thomas, that's to you.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alex, you didn't mention your third one yet, or did you?
I already did. It was The Faculty.
Oh, The Faculty. Okay, yeah, I keep getting confused. Okay, sorry. All right, so number 3 for my third pick. Pretty much this is like the answer to Rob's question in the tag video, by the way. So you're gonna know one of my choices for the tag video when you said like your favorite Hannibal Lecter movie. My number 3 underrated pick's Manhunter.
Okay.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah,
You seen Manhunter?
Manhunter. Yep.
Dan, really? You never seen Manhunter?
No, I just seen the Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, movies. Okay.
I think Manhunter is the best Hannibal Lecter movie, in my opinion. I mean,
I definitely think Manhunter's better than Red Dragon, and I think it's better than, of course, Hannibal Rising. But
I know. Yeah, I prefer Red Dragon. That's just me.
well, the thing is, not to say that Red Dragon was a bad movie. I think Red Dragon's a good movie, but
yeah,
Manhunter.
I think you guys just hated Ed Norton movies for some reason.
I like Edward Norton.
If Red Dragon was directed by Ang Lee, you would like it more.
Hey, here's some more hate on Edward Norton. He came out with the movie at the same time, a very similar movie, The Prestige, the Christopher Nolan film,
Right.
and there was The Illusionist, and they both came out at the same time. Prestige was way better.
I never seen The Illusionist, you know, so I was like, oh,
I think Edward Norton's best movie is Primal Fear. That's just me though.
That's a good film.
So Manhunter, the very first Hannibal Lecter movie, basically Red Dragon done in the 80s. It's pretty much what it is. But in my opinion, not to say the cast in Red Dragon was bad, but I think the Manhunter cast was, I think, far better. I definitely William Peterson as Will Graham. I love William Peterson as Will Graham. I think Brian Cox does a great job as Hannibal Lecter. You have Dennis Farina as the Harvey Keitel character from the Red Dragon movie. You have Dennis Farina as the Jack Crawford character. I like Dennis Farina. I miss Dennis Farina. May he rest in peace. You also have Stephen Lang as the Philip Seymour Hoffman character in Red Dragon. I guess Stephen Lang in the Manhunter. And of course, you know, Ray Fiennes was Dollarhide in Red Dragon. And Manhunter, it's Tom Noonan, who I thought does an excellent job as Dollarhide. You also have people like, you have Joan Allen as the blind lady. You have, I mean, it's just a hell of a cast. And it's directed by Michael Mann, who before he and things like that. Yeah, Manhunter. I love the way Michael Mann directs Manhunter. It's very stylized, very 80s looking movie. William Peterson as Will Graham is fantastic. A definite badass. Like there's this point where Stephen Lang as the reporter guy who's pestering William Peterson, and William Peterson just grabs Stephen Lang and just flips him over onto a car and breaks his leg, go through the windshield. And I'm like, this guy's a badass. William Peterson was badass as Will Graham. I'll tell you about the person that really stole the show was Tom Noonan as Dollarhide, as the serial killer. Tom Noonan, even though you don't see Tom Noonan into an hour into the movie, it's fine with me because, it is William Peterson's film because it is about him, the Manhunter. But Tom Noonan as Dollarhide is fantastic. I mean, Tom Noonan is such a great character actor from Last Action Hero, House of the Devil, and just so many good movies out there. Tom Noonan, he does a great job. Stephen Lang does a fine job as the reporter. And so many great lines of dialogue. It's just me and you now, sport. I'm gonna find you, god damn it. And some interesting trivia behind Manhunter. When they were during the making of, Tom Noonan didn't want to like William Peterson. He pretty much avoided him on set, to try to intensify that intensity on the movie itself. And he wanted to be referred to as Dollarhide. He didn't want to be called his real name. He wanted to be called Dollarhide.
I gotta go back.
He's like a method actor.
Very intense actor, Tom Noonan. And what's funny is on the Scream Factory Blu-ray of Manhunter, there's an interview with William Peterson, and he talks about how after the movie wrapped up, him and Tom Noonan went out for breakfast together, and that's how they got to know each other. So they eventually did become friends after the movie. So, I thought that was a kind of a neat story. But, I think Manhunter is my favorite Hannibal Lecter film. Granted, Anthony Hopkins does a great job as Hannibal Lecter, but I just prefer Manhunter all the way around. Brian Cox is Hannibal Lecter, William Peterson, Tom Noonan. And on top of that, too, I think Michael Mann is – I also really enjoyed it because Michael Mann's one of my favorite directors. I'd probably say I'd probably say it is my favorite Michael Mann film. It was either that or Heat, but Manhunter is probably my favorite Michael Mann film because I feel like Manhunter is just so underappreciated, and it's just an underrated movie. And Manhunter, definitely.
I will say, even though I prefer Red Dragon, I will say Tom Noonan was more creepier than
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Noonan was definitely a far more creepy.
I know, Dan. I know you're a South Park fan, so you remember that episode where Carmen thought he was a psychic.
Drink.
Thought he was what?
A psychic.
A sidekick?
No, like actually psychic. Like after he had a head injury.
Okay.
And then he got kidnapped by a serial killer, and then he was showing him
right.
Again, he would cut people's hands off, And he was showing him like pictures, like, "Do you see the? That's the Tom Noonan character from Manhunter."
Yeah, I wonder if I would. I wonder if I would give a fair rating of Manhunter because I really like Red Dragon. So
the thing is, like, I saw Manhunter first,
right,
but I still prefer Red Dragon. See, before I saw Red Dragon, I didn't know it was the same story. So when I started watching, I was like, "Wait a minute, this is like Manhunter. What's going on?" I thought this was like a different story. I thought all the movies connected to each other. I didn't realize that Silence of the Lambs pretty much rebooted this franchise in a way.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that the Manhunter was based on the novel called Red Dragon.
Right.
I think for some reason they didn't want to use the Red Dragon name.
Yeah, I didn't know that till after. So
because they were afraid like people would think it was a kung fu movie.
Okay.
I like the Manhunter title anyway, so yeah.
Right.
But Manhunter's my third pick. I love Manhunter.
Cool.
So Rob?
No.
Actually,
it's Alex.
I'm next.
Oh, is it Alex? Sorry.
Why trying to skip me, Thomas, huh? All right. Here's another one where I'm surprised no one's mentioned this yet, but I'll mention now. This is, in my opinion, the second best shark movie after Jaws, and this is Deep Blue Sea.
That's a good one.
Oh.
Love
yes,
Deep
Barrett. Yeah. Yeah. Again, like
water.
yes.
How about The Shallows?
Yeah, I prefer Deep Blue Sea over The Shallows, to be honest. I like The Shallows, but I've always preferred Deep Blue Sea. But great cast. I like the story, but like getting the shark's brain and making it into a medicine to cure Alzheimer's.
I realized too this is the second Thomas Jane movie that you mentioned.
Yeah, that's true. Underrated actor in underrated movies.
Very underrated actor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the shark, like, I like Ray Harlan, hit and miss director, but like this is one of my favorite films from him.
Oh, I feel like Rennie Harlan has more hits than misses, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. I liked how he used both CG and practical, and also real sharks as well. So that's cool. He mixed the three up pretty well. And good action. It's horror, but it's more of an action movie. Nice little like tributes to Jaws, like here and there. Like the opening scene is a whole tribute to Jaws. But instead of the people getting killed, Thomas Jane comes saves the day.
Yeah.
The last minute. And of course everybody remembers the midway through the film, Sam Jackson gets it.
Yeah.
It's a great scene. Like, we're not gonna fight anymore. We're not getting out of here when he gets killed by the shark. That's great.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea. I used to love that film, and I in the past would have agreed as far as it being the second best shark movie. I think I saw that movie like 3 times in the theater, and I remember when I had it on DVD, I was always showing everyone, and I really liked it. But I've watched it fairly recently, and I just don't feel like it holds up, honestly, just personally.
The only thing that doesn't hold up is some of the CG.
Yeah, some of it doesn't really.
And only me, a shark person, would know this. Like, I didn't like some of the what can't I think of the word? Like the not CGI, but when they use the physical props. Why can't I think of the word?
Practical
effects. Yeah, some of the sharks were not Mako sharks. So I don't know. I'm a shark person, so that bothered me.
Okay.
Because they're supposed to be Mako sharks.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's still there's some enjoyment to it. I used to love that film. I just feel like over time, it's lost some of its value. I don't know. What do you feel?
I think I would consider it a guilty pleasure.
Really?
Better than that crappy Deep Blue Sea too.
I consider it to be just a fun shark movie.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Like it is.
No,
every time someone gets killed, it's always by like a surprise. Like they
Deepest
shoot.
Blue
Like,
is my
Rennie
hat,
Harlan
like-
like shot it like okay, everything's fine. All of a sudden, like the shark attacks, kills somebody.
Yeah.
Deepest
Um,
Blue.
Yeah. Who thought LA Cool J could save the day?
He thought he could sing.
He didn't. He
He
didn't know.
survived. How come he can survive a shark and Michael Myers?
Yeah. I don't know. Cause he's LA Cool J.
Oh, Cool J.
Yeah, he even has a rap song in the movie. At
That's
the
what
end.
Bob keeps saying.
Deepest Blue is my hat. It's like a shark's fin.
Yeah, that's
I will say this: it has a really cool theme. Like the shark theme is really cool.
score. Yes.
Da, 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 da.
We had a bad movie experience.
Yeah.
We had to. We were in the front looking like this up at the.
No. So-
Yeah, it was
What's funny is like this was really Rennie Harlan's biggest hit since Cliffhanger. I mean, it was a while since he made another blockbuster movie. Because you figure Cliffhanger was like the last movie that he did fairly
he hasn't
well.
had many hits lately, right?
Well, you figure
I need my bolt gun and
I'm
ice
talking
pack.
about like between Cliffhanger.
Wait, hold on. What was that?
He can freeze to death. I'm just
Uh-huh.
quoting Cliffhanger.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is with Rennie Harlan. I mean, between Cliffhanger and Deep Blue Sea, like Long Kiss Goodnight, which I love, didn't really do that much at the box office, and Cutthroat Island was a bomb. So
Okay, yeah.
it was pretty much a much needed.
Biggest bomb
I don't
ever.
think Driven is good either. Driven can suck my ass.
Yeah, it was fun, and that's what's sad. He followed up Deep Blue Sea with Driven.
Uh-huh.
Don't you
Yeah.
like Formula One racers?
Formula.
I'm looking at Rennie Harlan's like filmography after like Deep Blue Sea, and like what the hell happened to him, man? Like Driven, Exorcist: The Beginning, 12 Rounds, The Legend of Hercules.
Mhm.
Yay.
Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, but I
He
will
went
admit,
in- went in the deep end.
I will admit, Alex, it's a good pick, Deep Blue Sea.
And I know a lot of people. Okay, here's one thing. Like, a lot of people hate the what's her name? Saffron Boris.
Yeah.
I never hated it. Like, I even watching the movie now, like I get where she's coming from. I think they should have just shown a little bit more of why she's doing what she's doing. Because you get a hint on it at the beginning where she explains like, what if you can get rid of Alzheimer's with a single pill?
Mhm.
And she's obviously it's like a hint of like her father. And she probably what's up?
I said it was pretty stupid at the end when she cuts her hand and she jumps in the water like a retard. That's what that was. Other than that, I mean, it's it's like I said, it's just
Yeah.
guilty fun. I don't know.
That
The
shit
actor
was
called
out.
that
She
good stuff.
died at the end.
What?
When I first saw it, I was shocked that she died.
That's what I mean. I was like, what are you doing? Just
Wait, yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
I thought like Thomas Jane was gonna come in at the last minute and like and the shark was gonna go over to Thomas Jane and
Hey, how do you feel about Thomas Jane doing a flip underwater to ignore the sharks?
He dodged the
The
shark
shark's
at the
coming at
head.
him and he does a flip and like in the water you can
It's a
move like that.
CGI flip.
shark expert, you know?
Because he's Thomas Jane, that's why.
Yeah,
It's Thomas Jane, exactly.
He's awesome.
yeah,
He is.
it's good. I like the movie. Underrated.
Into the win. How brilliant can he be?
But yeah,
Rob?
okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to mention. No one's definitely got this on their list, but when it comes to the vacation movies, National Lampoon, I'm going to pick European Vacation because no one talks about that movie.
That's a
and
good
I think that's a hilarious movie. I just
like
loved
European.
it.
Yeah, that's the one that you least mentioned.
I mean, the third act, like the whole when the guy like takes Beverly D'Angelo, he takes her hostage. Like that whole thing probably could have been cut out because it was kind of stupid. But I love the whole thing where they go to Europe and every city they go to, like he's got to learn a different language. Like they do stuff wrong and like he knocks over Stonehenge and like just the things that he does. It's just hilarious. I don't know. That movie is so funny.
Gotta get that back.
Out of the vacation movies, people love Christmas Vacation, one of their best Christmas movies.
I
Vegas
don't.
Vacation, huh?
I don't.
You don't? You don't like
No.
Christmas Vacation?
No.
Really?
Wow, that's
You mean it's not? You don't like it at all?
No, I don't like it.
Wow.
I don't think it's good.
yeah. Well, like this movie never gets talked about. So
Yeah. I actually like European Vacation the best.
I think it's a good one.
Actually, European Vacation is the one I like the best out of the vacation movies.
really, even more than the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that was easy.
You know what I think? I think you're all fucked in the head.
I think you're bread. Wait, someone hasn't said the phrase tonight. Someone's got to say it.
Well, wait. My next movie is Kat Denning's movie.
Thank you.
Bring it back to 4.
So underrated Thor 2.
Big boobs. Yeah. Glory holes.
Okay, so this movie is another one that it's actually got a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it should be rated a little higher. It's got a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it had a $46 million budget and only made $25 million, so it didn't make its money back. The movie is Denzel Washington film, and it is Fallen.
Oh my God, that's a good movie.
Which movie is it?
Another one.
Fallen.
With John Goodman and Denzel Washington.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the movie is kind of I don't know if you call it sci-fi, but
It's supernatural.
supernatural.
Yeah.
But anyway, him and John Goodman are detectives, and there are these murders, right? Isn't it?
There's one murder. There's murders that happen, but there's this one killer.
Right, and they're trying to track this killer, but it's like a supernatural killer, and the movie has a twist ending. Now, this came out, I think, maybe around the same time as Sixth Sense.
It was 98 Fallen. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, and I think Sixth Sense was 97. Oh, no, 99.
99,
So
yeah.
this was, right?
Yeah, 99.
99, you're right.
Yeah, so this was like before the Sixth Sense, and this movie has a twist ending that is a great twist.
Yeah, it gives away everything. So it's
But yeah, I won't say it because I don't know if Alex has seen it. But yeah, so I mean, I remember seeing it in the theater, and it was just a really good supernatural thriller, and it was a smart film, and with the twist ending, it's one of those movies where like after you see the end, when you watch it again, it's one of those movies. Yeah, you watch it again, and you're like, oh, okay, like I see this. So yeah, I know it's got a 7 out of 10, but I still think it's kind of underrated, especially since it didn't make its money back. So.
That's what sucks because I think it's a good movie. I think it's a really good one.
guys.
You got Denzel, you got John Goodman, you got Donald. Not only do you have those two guys, we got Donald Sutherland, James Gandolfini, Elias Koteas. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good pick, and I was not. I thought no one ever remembered Fallen.
I was like going through my movies today, and I, trying to figure out which ones I had on my list. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that one.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas, up to you.
Okay, so my number 4 pick, or my 4th pick, I guess I would say. It's a film that I've mentioned already before on my channel a few times, and I think I mentioned it to Rob and Alex already. But and I reviewed the film too on my channel. It's called Amazon Women on the Moon.
Oh, I haven't heard of that
I
one.
seen your review.
Spoof movie you were talking about?
Yeah, it's the Amazon Women on the Moon. I'll explain more about this to Dan because he hasn't heard about it. So basically, it's in the same vein as like movie 43, where it's like a comedy anthology.
Okay.
And in my opinion, this is an easily better version of movie 43. Like, it's kind of like you ever hear of the Kentucky Fried Movie?
Oh yeah.
So basically, Amazon Woman on the Moon is kind of like a follow-up to the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh, okay, but I mean, do you mean like the same director did it and everything?
Well, yeah, John Landis, who did the Kentucky Fried Movie, directed a couple of the segments in Amazon Woman on the Moon.
Oh, okay.
So basically, Amazon Woman on the Moon, like movie 43, has like a bunch of different directors. Like, remember, like in movie 43, you had like Peter.
I haven't seen that movie yet, but I know that.
So, like in Amazon Woman on the Moon, you have people like Joe Dante, John Landis, Peter Horton, who was in Children of the Corn. He directs one of them, and he's also in one of the skits. Robert K. Wise, who was a producer on the Kentucky Fried Movie, he directed a couple of them. So basically, what Amazon Woman on the Moon is, the way that it's set up is like this: it's basically filmed from the perspective of a person watching a TV. It's like a spoof on like watching late movies, like late at night, and it's like so. Basically, Channel 8's experiencing technical difficulties while airing Amazon Woman on the Moon, which is like a sci-fi movie. So basically, while they're waiting for the movie to continue to be airing, the viewer starts channel surfing through all these channels, and that's how you get all the skits involved. So there's one, and it has a really big ensemble cast like movie 43 did. You have people like Arsenio Hall, Rosanna Arquette, Henry Silva, Steve Guttenberg, Robert Picardo, Carrie Fisher, Ed Begley Jr., Joe Pantoliano, Peter Horton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Griffin Dunn. You also have Sybil Danning in the movie, Rip Taylor. You also have, what's his name from Superman? Mark McClure. I don't know if you know who Mark McClure is.
I don't think so.
You know who Mark McClure was?
From Superman the movie?
Yeah, he was Jimmy Olsen in the Christopher Reeve.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Andrew Dice Clay's in one of them too. So I'll tell you like some of the skits. Like I'm not going to spoil every single skit, but I'll mention my favorite one. I'll mention my favorite. I'll mention two of the skits. There's one where it's kind of like a like an Ebert and Roper type critics like show, but like instead of them criticizing a movie, like they're reviewing a movie, and instead of them reviewing a movie negatively, they're reviewing this guy's life negatively.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was kind of a clever skit. So I thought that was pretty funny. That was a pretty clever one. My favorite skit is the one with Henry Silva. I don't know if you guys know who Henry Silva is.
From memory.
If you've seen Above the Law, he was the bad guy in Above the Law.
Yeah, with Steven Seagal, right?
Yeah, he was also the bad guy in Code of Silence with Chuck Norris. So basically, he stars as himself in a TV show. It's like a take on of Believe It or Not, but it's called Bullshit or Not.
Uh-huh.
It's called Bullshit or Not, and there was like, was Jack the Ripper really the Loch Ness Monster? And you see like the Loch Ness Monster dressed up as Jack the Ripper in Victorian England, and he's being led by a prostitute. and they go around the corner, and then the woman screams because the Loch Ness Monster was in fact Jack the Ripper. And then just had the way Henry Silva just says that he's like, "Will we ever figure this out? Did I take this job for a quick buck? We might not know the answers to these questions." So yeah, that's basically what it's basically filmed as, like Amazon Woman on the Moon. I cannot recommend it enough. It's my favorite comedy anthology. I would say it's probably better than the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Really?
In my opinion, yeah. The Kentucky Fried Movie is great, but I think Amazon Woman on the Moon is, I think, better in my opinion. So that's my next underrated pick.
Yeah, we should make a movie like that, a comedy anthology. How about it? Huh?
Yeah.
We should make a comedy anthology like that. Go crazy. Make it so politically incorrect. But okay, that's it. I should check the movie out. I like the Kentucky Fried movie.
Well, if you like the Kentucky Fried Movie, then Amazon Women on the Moon is definitely worth a look.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Kentucky Fried Movie, but I did like it.
And I'll tell you what, the best. I remember the very first skit I ever saw in Kentucky Fried Movie was Scott Free. The JFK assassination board game. I'll never forget that. But yeah, that's my next underrated pick. So I guess Alex, you can go.
One of the funniest sketches in the Kentucky Fried Movie. I'm not gonna quote it because can't say that shit out loud. But the Daredevil scene, like the world's greatest human does.
Yeah.
I can't say that shit out loud.
Yeah. Yeah, but Alex, you can go next.
All right. It's gonna be my fifth and last pick. I have a few. There, but I'm gonna mention this one because I feel like it gets hate on so much every time it's mentioned.
Okay.
I get why it's not liked, but I don't get why it's so hated. But that is Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay.
That's a good.
I get. Yes, it's different it's different. It doesn't really match up to the original. It's the origin, all that. But I think when it comes to like kills and characters, it's one of the best ones in the franchise, in my opinion.
It's the goriest.
Yes, I know it doesn't have that much Jason in it. That's a lot of people hate that. But honestly, look, imagine if they would have switched out. If they would just tweaked it and just had Jason throughout the whole movie, same kill, same character, same lines, everything, people would have loved it. That's what I think.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked though with that plot though, because he had to like.
Yeah, it wouldn't have that plot. Let's just say it doesn't have that plot. It's just like Jason comes back alive again somehow after being blown up, and he starts killing people.
It's a ballsy move. It was a ballsy move that they did that, but I think it. Fine that they went. I mean, I was kind of getting tired of seeing the same old damn thing all the time anyway.
Yeah, because at the time, everything had been done with it, you know?
I feel like Jason Goes to Hell, that's one of Jason's best looks. Like, he looks like one of the coolest looks he has.
It's
wait for it. He definitely looks different.
But I think it's one of his cooler looking designs.
I think the comedy works a lot.
Yeah, the movie has a lot of energy.
Yeah, the unrated cut definitely shows a lot more.
Yeah. It shows one of the goriest kills in the whole franchise, where the woman gets split in half.
Mm-hmm.
I still think one of the grossest things, though, is seeing George Washington Duke from Rocky V eating that heart. That is like the gross.
You brought that up before, too.
It's the nastiest shit, man. Like he's yeah. I saw that in the theater. Like, my God.
You saw that in the theater?
Yes, I did.
I was actually, first time I saw Jesus Goes to Hell, I actually had steak that day, like literally right before I saw it. So when it got to that scene, I was like, oh, tasty.
How about, but you can't deny when I saw Freddy's glove at the end, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, ooh. Like, that was my reaction.
I already knew about that, though. Like, people, like, every time the movie was mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, Freddy shows up at the end.
I didn't know. You got spoiled.
I know, but like, I saw it 10 years after it came out, man. I saw it a week before Freddy vs. Jason came out.
Yeah, I feel like the more and more I watch Jason Goes to Hell, I do warm up to it more and more.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I never cared for it back in the day, but I feel like now that I'm older, I like it more.
Yeah, watch it again, watch the unrated version, see what you think. And a lot of times they go like, oh, you know what, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my personal favorites in the franchise. And that's why I think it's underrated.
I like when the snake goes up that girl's vagina.
The underrated version, you actually see it. It also has like another like great moment is when he squeezes that girl's head and her brains come out.
I like when that guy is decaying. When he
Yeah, that's great too.
his jaw falls off and like he just starts to. It looks like he's melting almost. Like that was great stuff, man. That was like wow. Great effect.
I tell you what, it's a pretty cool movie now that I think about it.
And since like you see Jason possessing somebody's body, you actually see his facial reaction when he's attacking somebody or when he's killing someone. So you see different reactions from him. And like I noticed, like when he's like possessing the body of the reporter guy,
Yeah,
douchebag. When he kills that waitress, he has like a smile on his face. Like Jason enjoys killing people. Clearly.
Yeah.
Remember the finger breaking scene?
Yeah.
That bothered me.
You gotta pay a price.
Everything has a price. Oh fuck!
Yeah, but like, how does the character Duke know everything?
He's Duke.
Yeah, he's a ranger.
Great, I like. He's a great character, but like I know there's like deleted stuff in the script, like goes more into a backstory, but like he was a great
Only
character.
through these can he be reborn.
Quote
Duke.
Yeah. I think about a little girl in a pink dress sticking a hot dog through a donut. See, she's only your girl because she ain't had a taste of Duke yet.
He's a badass. See how badass he is?
Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell, underrated, in my opinion.
That's a good pick, yeah.
They're a very different pick. Rob?
I guarantee no one has this one. No one ever talks about this one, and it's a shame because I think it's a damn good sequel, and that is RoboCop 2.
Ooh,
okay.
Great one.
I mean, it's, Peter Weller, he is RoboCop, and I know they're trying to do another one from what I hear.
But he said he won't be in it, but it's a direct sequel to RoboCop 2.
Like, I don't like RoboCop 3, but RoboCop 2 is kind of like how Jaws 2 is to Jaws for me.
That's a great analogy right there.
Yep.
Yeah. No one talks about it. I mean, RoboCop 1 is bloody as hell. RoboCop 2 definitely has some violent scenes, but it's still good.
I tell you, I gotta stop you for just a second. When I first saw that movie, the scene that always bothered me is when they scalpel that guy down the chest and alive. Man. Like I can't even. I have a hard time watching that
stuff like that. Yeah, that could really happen. Like it just. Yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop 2 is a great sequel. It's a great movie.
Well. The best thing I'll say about RoboCop 2, at least it's better than the remake and better than RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that much, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting pick, yeah.
All right,
Dan.
So I had two written down, and I was just trying to decide which one I should say because I'm gonna go. Between the two, one of them is definitely more underrated, but I'm actually going to go with the other one because it's a movie that is just so good, and I feel that I've shown people this movie, and everyone's like, that movie was so good. But you don't ever hear people talk about the movie. It had an $11 million budget, and it only made $17 million. Mm-hmm. It's getting a 7.3, which is good, and it's got a 74% Rotten Tomatoes rating. So I mean, it's a good rating, but it's a movie really no one ever talks about, and that's why I'm going to mention it. And it is Frailty.
That was my number 5 too.
Yeah,
I gotta pick another one.
What is that? You said that was your number one?
No, I'm saying that was the next one I was going to mention.
Oh,
now I got to cross that off and pick another one.
Big man.
Oh man, so. I saw that movie with my dad. I remember, I got it as a screener or something, and it was so well done. Like the story was so good, and the kids that the movie's focused on this kid, and you don't know if his dad all of a sudden's like, oh, there are demons amongst Bill Paxton in a great role, probably one of his best acting roles.
Yeah,
he's like, oh, yeah, and it's like, oh, there are demons about, and we have to take care of the demons, and the whole perspective is this kid, and he's like, okay, my dad's like going crazy, but then there's a twist at the end, so you think it's, and I don't want to give away. I mean,
I've seen the movie. You can get.
I've seen it.
We've all seen it.
So there's also there's two plots going on. You have the grown-up kid, that's Matthew McConaughey, talking to Powers Booth, and that whole thing is a surprise too, because you find out that Matthew McConaughey, the whole time you think it's the oldest son, but it's not. It's the youngest son that was going along with what the dad, was believing what Bill Paxton was doing, and so that whole plot's going on. But yeah, you have this other plot where the older son is just like, yeah, my dad's nuts, and you're feeling for this kid the whole time. But then his dad ends up being right, and he ends up being a demon, and the dad can't go through with killing the oldest son because it's his kid. But then the oldest son kills his dad because, well, in the movie it's like, oh, he's killing his dad because he's crazy, but really it's not. It's a good psychological. It
messes with your mind.
Yeah, and I feel like other people that movie, like my cousins and stuff, and my sister, and everyone was just like, man, like they were just shocked at how well that movie was done. And it's just a movie you don't really hear people talk about.
Oh, you don't.
When you talk about Bill Paxton, no one's like, oh, what do you have, Frailty?
He directed it too.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing he got to direct. I think.
And it was. I remember before the movie came out, when they were showing trailers for it, like Stephen King was like, what he was talking about the movie. He was saying like, this was a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's again. It's not underrated as far as like.
I consider it underrated.
It is.
Yeah, I guess the fact that no one talks about it is underrated.
I just saw
if Stephen King's giving you a positive review, then you're not doing too bad.
I just saw a Netflix movie, Bill Paxton. It's on Netflix right now, where he plays a corrupt cop and he beats on his daughter. I forgot the name of it. I think it came out in 2000 and maybe 16. I think I forgot the name of it. It's on Netflix, but he's really good in that movie. It's on Netflix. I just can't remember the name of it.
Training Day?
No. That's a show.
This is a Netflix.
It said like, Texas Rising, right?
Maybe when did it come out? 2016.
I see. Training Day was 2017, and then you have Texas Rising was 2015.
It might have been. Is that he played the corrupt cop
or Nightcrawler?
Story about the Texas Rangers. Was it this? Let's see.
No, definitely not. No, it's not. It's not like that. He's a.
We'll have to.
I don't
look
know.
that up. Yeah, later.
I'll have to find it out. Yeah, later. It was a good movie though. It's on Netflix, but
Okay. Cool.
Let's look at that.
Just watched it recently.
yeah, I watched it a couple nights ago.
Yeah, Frailty. That's a good pick, man.
That's a great movie.
That was one where I didn't know where it was gonna go.
Yeah, like I was gonna mention that next, but I'm gonna have to cross that out and pick another.
I can't believe that was your pick, Thomas. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, man, it's like Dan read my mind. Frailty.
I was hoping we'd have at least one of us cross over.
Well, Dan made me cross off one of them though.
I found it. It's called Mean Dreams.
Oh, okay.
It's on Netflix now, but it's a good one.
I'll have to look at that. Okay. Yeah, so that's a good pick, Dan. Frailty.
Yeah.
So
what was the other one you were gonna pick? I'm curious.
Me?
No, Dan.
Me?
He said he had two, and he picked Frailty.
When we're all done, were we gonna go over our other choices, or?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
We can do that.
I got a few.
I'll do it after
we're done.
I'll do it after everyone's done.
Okay.
So
I have several I wrote down that I didn't say.
Me too.
Me too.
Okay.
So since so I guess I'm the last one to go, right?
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so
it, yeah.
this is the fifth pick. So since Dan mentioned Frailty, I got to cross that off and pick another choice. And it's a good thing I picked. I figured, you know what? In case someone did cross off one of my choices, I figured this would be my backup one because I had to mention this as underrated. I remember the very first time I saw this. I remember the first person who recommended me this was actually Rob. Actually, he recommended this movie to me, and I remember saying like, "Oh, I've heard some things about this," and I saw the film, and I fell in love with this movie. I don't know why this film does not have a special edition. It deserves some interviews and things like that, but for my Frailty substitution choice, I'm going to pick The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Would you consider that underrated? Because people like that movie.
Well, no one ever really talks about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
I mean,
It's a good. I agree. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like whenever people mention like 90s movies or thrillers, like no one mentions The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. They mention like, Fatal Attraction.
it would be mentioned more, but
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll take a look. I mean, I don't know how much money it made. I'll take a look.
Getting a 6.6 on IMDb.
Which is a pretty decent. I think it should be a little higher than that.
Yeah, I don't.
When your baby's hungry, it's my breath that feeds him.
I mean,
Do your
the budget was $11 million.
I won't let you hurt them.
So the thing is, this movie came out in January of '92. That's usually a pretty bad month for movies in January.
Mm-hmm.
And the budget was $11 million, and it did make $88 million. So it was a pretty profitable movie, but I feel like, around that time, like it came out in '92, and then when you think about other films that came out in '92, like people think more about, Few Good Men or Wayne's World or Aladdin. Like those were more the popular films in '92, but
Right.
I feel like The Hand That Rocks the Cradle kind of fell under the radar, and I love this movie. I think the cast does a great job. Rebecca De Mornay is fantastic. I really love Rebecca De Mornay as the psycho person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you say her name, Annabella Sciorra.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of movies. She was in, What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams.
She was in Copland with Stallone too.
Copland. Holy shit.
Ernie Hudson.
Oh my God, Ernie Hudson. Yeah, Ernie Hudson plays
Solomon, right?
I felt so bad for this poor guy when he got framed. Like, I'm not going to say what happens in case people who haven't seen the movie out there, but
Yeah.
Doesn't he have like doesn't like Ernie Hudson have like some sort of like a disability?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a handyman, but he's
Mentally handicapped.
he's a good.
Yeah,
but he's like a.
Okay, we're just gonna say what we mean here. Okay, he's retarded.
But Ernie Hudson's a good-hearted guy. I feel bad for Ernie Hudson, and I'll tell you what, Ernie Hudson in the finale is great. He's protecting the baby and things like that.
See,
Is the defense to keep people in or to keep people out? Oh, okay, I see.
See, the mistake Rebecca De Mornay did was she decided to mess with the Ghostbuster. You never mess with the Ghostbuster.
Exactly. Yeah,
That was her downfall.
Hey, she was good also in the Mother's Day remake. That's another good Rebecca De Mornay movie.
I liked her in the Shining TV version.
Miniseries.
I know you
she
don't
was the
like
only
that.
good thing about that when she was in her
I
nightgown.
agree. Yeah.
Come take your damn medicine, you damn little fuck. I hit you with a croquet mallet. No.
You get ducked.
Ducklet boy.
And the director, unfortunately, is no longer alive anymore. Who did The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Curtis Hanson, may rest in peace. But
Did he do anything else?
Same guy that did The River Wild.
Oh, fantastic! I love The River Wild.
He also did L.A. Confidential.
Yeah, that movie bothered me.
It was.
Oh, and also Curtis Hanson also directed 8 Mile with Eminem.
I didn't like.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't
Wait,
know.
it bothered you in like a bad way? Like you didn't like the movie?
No,
or
in
you just-
a way like with the way like the kid. I don't know, like the way the kids were treated by him, and like he just was an evil character.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I just remember when I saw him when I was a kid. I was like, oh, he's crazy.
Kevin Bacon was great and like bad guy.
Yeah, but The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is great. It's a great 90s thriller. It's one of the most underrated 90s movies. Rebecca De Mornay is fantastic. It's one of the first early roles you get to see of Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Very early role by Julianne Moore.
Yeah. That scene where Claire is trying to gasp for air, and that whole part just bothers me too, because I feel like I'm gasping for air.
Yeah.
Because she has asthma.
Yeah. Yeah, but The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is definitely an underrated pick for me. So
You don't have asthma, do you?
Do I know? I'm just saying I felt like that
Okay.
when I watched her do that. I'm like, oh my god, that would suck. Like,
Yeah.
I'm claustrophobic anyway and stuff
Okay.
like that.
That's the same thing, but it's okay.
You know
Oh,
what?
my favorite part when she finds out the truth about Rebecca De Mornay's character, and she comes back and she punches her in the face.
yeah.
Yeah, because she's a strong woman. We don't get that nowadays.
That you bitch.
We don't get strong women nowadays, apparently.
Yeah, but that's easily an underrated pick. for
I
me.
mean, like she never had any like karate lessons or punching lessons, so she punched her like that really hard. Oh, Mary Sue. She's a Mary
Are you
Sue.
trying to compare her to Rey from Star Wars? You better stop it. Who never had any lightsaber training? Jesus.
Well, at least she knows how to bypass the
I bypassed the impressive.
I like
Mind frame.
You gotta-
It should have. They should have casted Kat Dennings as Ray. That's would have been better.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, man.
It should have.
Look at teacher a thing or two.
Or yeah.
He's already been on that boob milk. The blue boob milk. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I hope Takaki Watiti is watching this so he can cast Kat Dennings. in 4-4.
Well, you did see that they've been asking her. Yeah.
No,
you
she
showed-
they didn't ask her yet. She wants to come back.
No, I saw it. Yeah, I saw an interview. They're like, "Oh, are you returning?" And she said, "I don't know, but would love to."
Of course she
Yeah.
would. She needs work.
Everybody wants her back.
The Kat Dennings.
But yeah, we
That's
can mention our honorable picks. The ones that you
Yeah.
need.
Okay.
I have a few.
I got
Really, yeah.
Well, Alex, want to go? Or?
Yeah, sure. I only got like 2 or 3, honestly.
Okay.
One is The Last Action Hero.
Great
Arnold
movie.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
It's been a while since
Yeah.
I've been now.
Great movie.
Why?
Yeah, it's unrated. It's a parody of action films.
Mhm.
It's a good one. This is an underrated sequel. Predator 2.
Great movie. Love Predator
I
2.
don't care for that one.
I like Predator 2. I mean, honestly, after seeing The Predator, fuck that movie. I love Predator 2,
Yeah.
Or I just did the new one.
And another one. I don't know what you guys think of this one, but it gets hated on a lot. Prometheus.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like that movie a lot.
I like
underrated. I agree.
That movie is beautiful, like visually. It is
It's
so.
my third favorite Alien movie.
Well, you would say Alien 3, but that movie sucks.
No.
Yeah, Prometheus was really good.
Yeah, and then they messed everything up with Alien Covenant.
I thought that movie was okay. I didn't hate it as much as everybody else, but I do want them to continue. I'd like to have the story continue.
Nah.
It should be
Nah.
a movie called David because that's what it was about. The
I like that
handwriting.
character though.
I mean,
I didn't like him in Alien Covenant though.
yeah,
He's an evil data.
I didn't like how he had everything together. Like he was like going to be the cause.
Yeah,
of
he's the one who made the xenomorphs.
I think it should be
Yeah.
evolution. Whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, but that's it for me.
Okay.
All right.
Rob.
Really quick. I would say Rambo 3,
Good one.
Back to the Future 3.
Good one.
And I gotta say, like, I never respected Back to the Future 3 when I was younger. I always thought it was the worst one. And
It still is.
I would say it's the weakest one, but I still like the movie.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
perfect. It's a perfect.
It's weak.
It's a perfect trilogy. Perfect trilogy.
I prefer 3/2, to be honest.
I'm also gonna say Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. I like that movie. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's all right. It's a decent movie.
What the,
Alex, what are you smoking?
what's so bad about it? I don't understand why. The what?
CG.
The CG?
Yeah.
I think I got rid of that movie recently.
It wasn't before. It looked bad.
Okay, how about let's see, Jurassic Park 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
I would call it underrated. Yeah,
I like that better than
two
the second
sucks.
movie. I can't see
I
it.
hate them. I think that's like the one Steven Spielberg
It
movie I
sucks.
could be like, I do not like
It
that
sucks.
Steven Spielberg movie.
It sucks T-Rex dick. And I hate it. All right. Let's see. The couple more is well, we already talked about Night of the Living Dead, 1990.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. And then my last one would be Hannibal. I love Hannibal. People shit on that because of Foster not being in it.
Right.
I don't care.
Julian Moore was good in it.
And Valentine.
Valentine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the one time. But Rob and I did a double feature at the theater.
Is that when we got pulled over, or was that Sixth Sense?
That was Sixth Sense.
Okay.
You got pulled over.
We got pulled over at night because I was a youngling,
Yeah.
and
You're a
I was supposed
youngling?
to be out past. Yeah.
Youngling.
Cops. Late at night, and the cop was like, "What are you guys doing out here?" We're like, "Oh, we're trying to get home, stupid."
Then he
Like,
called
we're
you out.
driving.
Doing it.
Like, what the hell are you we're doing? Drugs out here?
I got you going 10. He's like, I got you going 10 over the speed limit. And I go, officer, I had my cruise control set at 5 over.
Yeah. So no, you didn't, you liar.
And he's like, well, that's still 5 over. And I'm like, yeah.
So what's your point? Yeah, it would be like, what's your point?
Oh, so like he said, you went 10 over. And he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, oh, actually, you went 10 for 5 over. Wait, which is it, officer? 10 or 5?
I'd be like, why don't you go to the interstate where people are doing like 15 over the speed limit? Why don't you shut
I
up?
could have spit in his goddamn.
and then both of you got tased afterwards.
I spit in his goddamn face.
You got tased and pepper sprayed.
I don't know. Tasers back then. That was in 1999. Probably would have been pepper spray.
That's all my pick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the movie, Alex, that I was debating on mentioning, I've mentioned this movie before, was Oscar with Sylvester Stallone.
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Oscar.
it's getting a 6.5. It's only getting a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
That's way too low.
yeah, but it had a $35 million budget and it only made $23 million. So but I feel like that's an underrated movie.
I think it is.
My other choice, I wrote a lot down. Let's see. I put Breakdown on the list.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. I was thinking of
Yeah.
I put The Edge with Anthony Hopkins.
We're gonna kill the motherfucker.
I feel like that's kind of underrated. I put Open Water. Honestly, I like that movie.
I do too.
It's good.
I put Frequency. I love
Hell
that
yeah.
movie.
Oh, Frequency is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that film. I put Sphere on here.
Yes, another good thriller.
Yeah.
Let's see. I bet you mentioned Orange County earlier. I put that on here. I feel like that was a really
That's a
that
fun
movie.
one.
It reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite, but Napoleon Dynamite gets a lot of praise, but it's similar in that type of tone. But you don't ever hear about Orange. No one ever talks about Orange County. So, I put The Frighteners on here with Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Frighteners is a great one.
I
love The Frighteners.
A Michael Bay movie no one really talks about, The Island. I actually like that movie.
Ian McGregor.
Yeah.
It's actually one of his better movies.
What's that?
It's one of his better movies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, those are all the ones I wrote down.
Oh, I was going to mention too. I forgot one. Unlawful Entry. That's a damn good movie.
Damn good movie. Yeah.
That's a good one. You showed me that one.
Yeah.
Damn good.
Yeah, the password's pyramid. What? No, I did not change the password. What's the password, Michael? Figure it out, asshole. 7 letters. Fuck you. You're gonna pay for this, Michael.
All right, Thomas. What were your honorables?
Some of the honorable mentions that I had a couple of them here. I could list like 50, I only went with a couple of them. But End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that was one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rob mentioned this one already. Unlawful Entry.
Yeah.
Love Unlawful Entry. It's one of my favorite Kurt Russell movies. I also really enjoy. I honestly think this is underrated. I know this might be a beloved movie, but I feel like it's one of the more underrated spoof movies, Spaceballs.
Space.
Yeah.
Oh, would you consider it underrated though?
I don't know. I mean,
Rick
I feel like
Moranis.
when people think of spoof movies, like
I would like when it comes to like Mel Brooks movies, like I would consider like Neighborhood Men in Tights more underrated.
When it comes to like spoof movies, like I feel like it gets forgotten about.
Well, an underrated Rick Moranis movie would be like My Blue Heaven. That would be an underrated one.
well, I think Mel Brooks in general, like probably nowadays, people don't really talk about his films. But when you bring out Mel Brooks, I definitely think of Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I think of that first too, but I feel like not many people would though.
No, like when it comes to like Mel Brooks movies, the one that I would think it's underrated is Neighborhood Men in Tights.
I feel like whenever people mention Mel Brooks, they think of Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, sure, but I hear plenty of people like Spaceballs.
Yeah.
That's one of my wife's favorite movies, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Other ones, I had a really underrated one called Resurrection.
What is it?
Called Resurrection.
Halloween Resurrection?
That's what I thought you said at first.
No, it's literally just
Yeah,
called.
Rob would think we were what?
It's literally called Resurrection.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Yeah, this is actually a really unique mystery serial killer movie, kind of like Seven.
Oh, okay.
It takes place around like Easter. It's like around like the Easter holiday. And
I told you to go out in the garage.
Go back to the shock.
Go out there and help Nora out in the garage.
You don't get it? You don't get it? Oh, that's what he should have done.
Dude, sit down. You gotta get the hell out of here.
That's what I did. That's what I did.
And then I remember in that spoof in that old video with Dan. After Rob went, that's what I said. That's what I said. All you hear, you see Dan go. Dan just lifts up his leg and just passes gas.
And you're like,
I remember.
In the beginning of the video, Dan was locked up in the closet or something. He's like, I've been here for 4 months or whatever he said.
Hey Rob, remember?
It's a messenger. I think it's going to need shot back.
I know. I just was telling Rob, I'm like, I wish we had those videos, man.
Yeah.
Why didn't Kenny hold them?
Well, those were done on
Anyway,
those were done on my old
The
camcorder.
very, very first one, right?
Resurrection is basically it's about a serial killer who goes
Michael
around.
Myers? Yeah, I'll stop with the Halloween Resurrection jokes.
It's actually it's a serial killer movie. It's with Christopher Lambert from Fortress. He's the lead.
Fortress.
Basically, it's about him and his partner. They're going after a serial killer. And apparently, it's about a serial killer who kills people and he takes their body parts because he wants to rebuild the body of Jesus.
Wow.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a really, really good movie. It's called Resurrection. It's from I think it's from 1999 or something like that. It's a really good one. I also put I have two more. Any Given Sunday. It's a great football movie.
That's a great football movie, yeah.
And my last one that I'm going to mention is Meet the Feebles.
That's a good one.
Another Peter Jackson movie. It's kind of like a better version of the Happy Time Murders, in my opinion.
Well, I think we're all forgetting one that should be on all of our lists. That's for underrated. Should be number one. Is
I know what it is.
Spider-Man 3. Let's just face it.
I was gonna say that. I was actually gonna say Truth or Dare.
Well, you know what? That's a second tie.
It's kind of like stupid when they try to make horror movies that tie in with technology. That's fucking dumb.
Well, it just gets to a certain point where you can't do anything different.
Shut your goddamn computer off.
No, if you do it, you'll get killed.
Well, good.
I'm sorry, that movie's stupid, Alex. It is. Come on.
I didn't say it wasn't.
I thought you liked it.
No, I didn't say I liked that. I just said it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was the worst thing ever. So.
Why do the people have to do this? Like, why do they have to smile like
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
Uh-huh. But yeah, that's our underrated and overrated.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable. That was a different pace from recent.
Yeah.
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 But I am excited to do DC film.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad nobody mentioned any of those movies today because we'll cover them when we get to them.
Where are you at on the DC films?
I only saw Batman Superman last night.
Oh.
You watched Man of Steel recently, though, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was gonna watch Suicide Squad today, but I didn't have time.
Oh, that's okay.
You better have a beer in your hand.
I have that movie too. And I did see the extended version of Batman Superman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll just say that I'll keep everything shut for now.
Hey, we're talking about superhero films. Come on, Alex.
You guys fucking brought it up. We got to bring DC up. Okay, let's do this now. Okay, Man of Steel came out in 2013.
Oh, man.
All right.
Well,
That's it. We're done.
That's enough.
Yeah.
All of us had good choices, really. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
not too many.
I thought we were going to have similar choices. I didn't think we were going to be that different.
Yeah, I really thought we were gonna have at least like two or three of the same choices.
Some shocking ones today.
Yeah, some shocking ones in there too.
Coco was good. I don't know.
Alex hated my Overrated, and Pulp Fiction was on there too.
Yeah.
They were shocked by mine, though.
Yeah, Exorcist.
Yeah.
How dare you say anything bad about The Exorcist?
How?
All right. Well, that's a wrap, everyone.
Yep.
Thanks for
Thank
watching,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you, Chucky Doll, and hold on, where's the other person?
Were they the only two in the chat or what?
Yeah,
I don't know why I can't see anything. I can't see any people coming.
you actually have to go click on the video though.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, that's fine. Oh, all right.
Forka84. Thank you, Forka84 and Chucky Doll for commenting tonight.
Yep.
This thing?
And, tune in next time for. We'll see. All right, say your goodbyes.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Top 10 Cat Denning films next time.
Yep, cut the boo.
Adios.
See you later.